At Navy Federal Credit Union, it all starts with members like you. Because we were founded as a not-for-profit with a mission dedicated to your well-being, with everyday banking tools and loans, all backed by 24/7 support. The kind of support that comes from being a proud partner within your community. Because when you're a member, it all starts and ends with you. Navy Federal Credit Union. Our members are the mission.
Welcome back, college football.
Who's ready for some HBCU football? You are watching the Boeing Red Tails Classic from historical Crampton Bowl in Montgomery, Alabama. You already know the Battle of the Bands is going to go down, but first it'll be a battle on the field between the Fort Valley State Wildcats and the Tuskegee Golden Tigers. What's up, everybody? Welcome inside the booth with my running back. He's Rini Angolia. I'm John Triffinart. Rini, I'm excited for this game because this is the second annual Boeing Red Tails Classic. We get to highlight the Tuskegee Airmen throughout the night. I'm also excited we get to spotlight HBCU football on national TV.
Yeah, I'm excited and honored and just happy college football's back, partner.
All right, you ready to do this?
Let's do it.
All right, both teams have two new head coaches, new offenses, new defense, but the consistent thing, they're going to rely on the run game.
Yeah, Emmanuel Wilson, 6'1", 220. He's a big-bodied back. You see his numbers from last season. First team All-SIAC preseason, can run between the tackles downhill, but he's got the shiftiness and speed to break some long ones. So look for him to carry the ball about 20 to 25 times tonight. And on the other side, Dante Edwards from Tuskegee. He's a transfer in from Miles College, came with Coach Ruffin, another big body back, goes about 6 foot, 225, 1,000-yard rusher last year. Again, another All-SIAC back. It's going to be a battle of running backs today between these guys. Let's see which offensive line can win at the line of scrimmage and get those guys loose.
Let's meet both new head coaches. Reginald Ruffin, in his first season as Tuskegee, not only is the head coach, he's the athletic director. After this season, he will step aside as the football coach, and offensive coordinator Aaron James will take over. But Coach Ruffin said he is paving the way to bring back this historical football program here at Tuskegee. On the other side, Fort Valley State, Sean Gibbs, a longtime assistant, is now getting his first shot at a head coaching job. Game one is tonight.
Super impressed when we spoke to Sean Gibbs this week. He is just thrilled. He's been waiting a long time to become the head coach. He's excited, and I'm excited to watch his ball club play tonight.
So Tuskegee has won the toss, and they have elected to receive. So we are getting set for the opening kickoff here in the Crampton Bowl, as Fort Valley State lining up. Rodney Williams is out. Boots things away, and we are underway here in Montgomery, Alabama. Opening kick. Fielded by Tuskegee, tackled short of the 20-yard line. And that was Grantis Poole on the return. All right, Rini. For Tuskegee, we are not sure who we're going to see at quarterback. It's been a quarterback battle throughout camp between Ryan Nettles and Bryson Williams. Who is going to get the start? And
we tried to get it out of Coach Ruffin. He just wouldn't budge. We thought we had him in the call, and it looks like it's going to be Bryson Williams, the veteran. Now, it's the new offense for him this year, John. They're going to run a spread, but we will see Ryan Nettles today as well. I believe we'll see both quarterbacks, but Williams gets the start.
So Bryson Williams is the returner for Tuskegee, but he comes out in a spread offense. This is a completely new offense for him. Dante Edwards gets the first carry of the game. A short run up the middle, continuing to push the pile. Looks like a gain of 4 on first down for Dante Edwards.
Yeah, and that's how you stay ahead of the chains, right? Good pickup on first down, nice 4 yards. You see the power right there with Dante Edwards running behind those pads. Good surge up front by that offensive line of Tuskegee.
That was Sean Stitton, the left tackle, who lost his helmet on that play. We bring up 2nd and 6 here on this opening drive of the ball game here in the Crampton Bowl. Bryson Williams calling out the play to his offense. Play clock is at 2, gets the snap off. Swing pass on the outside, fumbled. That could be a live ball, but they're going to say incomplete. It was intended for Rodriguez McGee. Incomplete pass on second
listen,
down.
that was a good pass by Williams. That's one that McGee has to catch. It was definitely going forward, so a good call. And remember, it's Division II football, folks, so there is no replay, but the ball clearly going forward. Now a little wobbly, but it hit McGee right in the hands. You got to make that catch, and he knows that.
So the first third down of the game for Tuskegee as head coach Reginald Ruffin looks on. He was so effective as the head coach at Miles College. Now he's trying to bring that over here to Tuskegee on third down. Pump fake, rolling out of the pocket to his left. Flag is down, tackled short of the marker. Let's see what the penalty flag is for on the gain of 3.
And another helmet came off. There was so much of that yesterday watching football. These guys need to strap up their helmets a little tighter. You can't lose good players. And now another flag comes in really late. Emotions are going to run high in this game.
Both coaches talked to us about the significance of this game. Obviously, you want to get the season started with a win, but to play on national TV, highlight what you've done all summer as a program, but also to honor the Tuskegee Airmen. This is a big deal.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. And the Tuskegee players that played in this game last year, remember, they got blanked. They lost 30-0. So, you know, you don't forget about that stuff. So there's a lot going on. That's the big thing. Keep the emotions in check early on.
Personal foul. Face mask. Defense. Number 62. 15-yard penalty. After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct. Defense. Number 6. Both penalties will be enforced. First down.
So the personal foul was on the nose guard, Bryce McGuire. That gave him the first down. And then after the play, it was Jamal Jean-Pierre, the cornerback.
Yeah, 30 yards and penalty. And that's why the helmet came off, because Bryce McGuire grabbed it. So the offensive lineman can stay in. But, boy, then the true freshman, as you said, Jean-Pierre, gets it unsportsmanlike. That's a 30 yards and penalty right there.
Unsportsmanlike conduct.
So they're going to adjust the spot of the ball, but Rini, just like that.
Yeah.
It looked like they were stopped short of the first down, and now they're in Fort Valley State territory.
Absolutely had them stopped, but you have the personal foul with the face mask, and then the young freshman Jamal Jean-Pierre gets an unsportsmanlike, and just like that, Tuskegee's in good shape.
McGee is the man in motion. They're going to hand it off to, no, keeper is Williams, looking downfield, completes it. That's to Grantis Poole. But we do have penalty flags down. Looked like he was out of bounds.
He was out of bounds. So you're going to have an illegal touching here as he stepped out of bounds. Cannot be the first player to come back in and touch the ball. And you see the side judge coming in with no hat on. He threw that hat immediately, signaling that. So should have an illegal touch here. And that was an RPO. That is how you run pass option right there. Excellent job. Unfortunately, it looks like the receiver stepped out. Now, if he was pushed out, he can come back in, and I'm sure that's the conversation they're having right now.
Well, this is something we saw in the game last year, right? A lot of penalty flags, a little sloppy start. With both teams, coaches told us, not sure what we're going to get today because we have so many new players on both rosters.
No doubt about it. 82 newcomers on this Tuskegee roster, Coach Ruffin told us. That's a lot.
Look at man downfield. Offense. Number 65. That penalty declined. Illegal touching. Number 6. That penalty is accepted. 5-yard penalty. Loss of down.
So the penalty was on Sean Stitton. I believe they meant to say number 5, Grantis Poole.
Well, yeah, and it was 5 was the receiver that stepped out of bounds. Stitton, now there's the problem with RPO, because it takes a little time, and the linemen ultimately drift downfield because they think it's going to be a run. The quarterback throws it to the last second. You see that happen a lot with RPO offenses.
Poole is in motion. Handoff is to Edwards. And he is bottled up, a gain of 1. When you look at this defense for Fort Valley State, we talked to defensive coordinator Denzel Jones. He said, we're not really sure what they're going to do, but when we anticipate and look at the tape from last season in terms of the new offensive coordinator coming in, we think they're going to run the ball a lot, so we want to stop the run first, and if they throw it, that's a win for us.
Correct. They want to make them throw the ball. They said they'll make their in-game adjustments for sure, but you were correct. He anticipated that they were going to run the ball with Dante Edwards, which they've done early.
3rd and 14 coming up. Williams dropped back. Good protection, rolling out to his left again. He's going to take off. Spins out of one tackle, but is just run over. Kentrell Lawson coming up from his Mike position. Coaches say he will hit anything he sees.
Yeah, Lawson's a JUCO transfer, Independence Community College in Kansas, and that's what I have on my notes. Will hit everything. Demonstrated it right there. That's exactly what you want for your backers to come up. And now they're in this tweener land. Even though it's 4th and 9, you're going to go for it here.
So on 4th and 9, Edwards is the back. Williams in the shotgun formation. Now looks over the sideline for the play. Play clock is down to 3. Williams gets the snap, looking downfield, throwing deep over the middle. Dangerous pass, and it's picked off. Tyler Moore, he leads this defense, and he gets the first interception. He's bringing it back, loses his feet, and a late penalty flag comes in as he returns it past the 25.
Yeah, it looks like you're going to get the block in the back on the return post-possession, but Tyler Moore really is the best defensive player on that unit. Actually, one of the best players on the entire team. Can do it all. He's a leader. Great job, but you know, I love the shot that Tuskegee took there on 4th and 9. It's as good as a punt, right? Give yourself that shot. 4th down, vertical. Tyler Moore just comes up with a big-time play for the leader of that defense back there.
How about the turnover belt already out in the first quarter here for Fort Valley State? You know, this is my first time at the Crampton Bowl. I love this atmosphere.
I've done a few Camellia Bowls, so I've been here before in beautiful Montgomery, Alabama.
During the return, illegal block below the waist. Intercepting team. Number 22, 15-yard penalty, 1st down.
So that's the cornerback, Justin Harris. And that is a new rule they're trying to implement this year for player safety.
They actually called it 22 Corey Petty of Tuskegee. He went low.
Excuse me. Yep.
So, because it's both sides, especially change of possession, you can never go low.
So Fort Valley State offense on the field for the first time today. They're led by their quarterback, Kelvin Durham. Handoff to the left side, Emmanuel Williams. That's the guy they say has the big play capability, a gain of 4.
Emmanuel Wilson on the carry for the Wildcats. A gain of 4. Up to the 39-yard line.
Kelvin Durham making his first career start, but they feel like he took a huge leap this offseason, really starting to be the leader on this team.
Yeah, call him KD. 3rd year in the program, so he's got experience. He really took the biggest step as a leader, that leadership role you want your quarterback to take, not only for the offense, but for the team, and Kelvin Durham took that step this spring.
Shift on the defensive line for Tuskegee. Out of the shotgun, Duran. Swing pass incomplete, was intended for his running back, Williams.
Yeah, and those are those plays early on. I think you're a little juiced up, right? It's just a pitch and catch there. It's just an extension of the running game when you can get it to a running back on a swing route like that. We've seen both teams throw incomplete passes on that particular play.
So Emmanuel Wilson, running back, stays in the game here on 3rd and 6 for Fort Valley State. Coming off with a turnover. There's Fraylin Warren, the man in motion now in the slot. They give the handoff. This is to Wilson again, banged up at the 45. It's going to be close, right at the marker.
He's got it. He needed to get to the 45, and I loved how he finished that run. Got behind his pads, knew he needed to get to the 45, pounded his way through, and got to the yard to gain. Excellent run from Emmanuel Wilson there. That's how you finish it off and keep a drive alive. Right here, lower the shoulders, get through there. Good run.
And it's interesting because his backup, Kentrell Williams, they say that's the guy who's going to run you over. Wilson's the guy who's got more shiftiness, but you saw some ton of power there.
Well, and yeah, I mean, because Wilson goes 220 as well. Yeah, Williams a little bigger at 225, but can do it all.
So new set of downs for Fort Valley State. Handoff back to Wilson. He's got a crease up the left side, past the 30, ridden out of bounds at the 25. Pushed out by Stanley Livingstone, the safety, after a gain of 28.
Great blocking up front. You see the double team. The center, Emmanuel Boone, 71, 75, Waylon Bell. Two all-conference offensive linemen right in the middle there. Great job. And you see the burst from Emmanuel Wilson through the hole.
So they pushed them back. Say stepped out at the 27. 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. Durham with 3 wide. Might have caught the defense offside. Throws one deep to the end zone. Incomplete, and there's a penalty flag in the end zone. On the coverage was Marquez Delafield. Will they call him for pass interference?
Too much hands by Delafield. He was riding the receiver the entire time down the outside leverage there, and just never came off of him. You can't do that.
Pass interference.
Easy call.
Defense. Number 8. 15-yard penalty. Automatic first down.
We'll get a look at it here as they go down that left sideline right there. You know, they'll let you get a little hand jockeying if you're both doing it, but you see that left hand, it's on him, it's steering him, he never takes it off. And it's a good call by the official.
How about that throw by Durham, giving his receiver a chance to make that play, but out of the space of the defender?
Either your receiver catches it or no one does it. That's the perfect ball by Durham.
So with that penalty, it is now 1st down inside the red zone for Fort Valley State. 2 running back set. This is Williams with his first touch, trying to bounce it to the outside, and he is tripped up at the 10-yard line. That's the safety, Antonio Kennan, making the tackle, a gain of 3.
And the interesting thing about Antonio Kennan, he played corner. He's a former corner. The other safety, Stanley Livingstone's a corner. So the big question coming into this game for Coach Ruffin and Coach Watson is, can they tackle like safeties need to tackle, being former corners? Well, Kennan just showed you right there. I'll come up the alley and make a tackle. That was a nice play.
So 2nd and 7 from the 10-yard line for the Wildcats. Little option. Keeper is Durham. He's got daylight. End zone touchdown. A 10-yard touchdown run by Kelvin Durham, and Fort Valley State gets on the board first.
I love that. Little old school option to the left. Kelvin Durham runs it perfect. He's going to give a little bit of a fake there and then comes up. That's called the ladder. In and out to the corner. Runs the ladder perfectly on that option. Exactly how it should look.
Rodney Williams is on to kick the PAT. It is up and through. So Fort Valley State with a 7-0 lead here in this first quarter of the Boeing Red Tails Classic. It is shaping up to be a good one. Durham showing off the moves. The quarterback keeper in the end zone. Wow.
The Boeing Red Tails Classic is brought to you by Boeing, celebrating the trailblazing spirit of the Tuskegee Airmen and Montgomery County Commission, a county older than the state.
Welcome back to the Boeing Red Tails Classic. Fort Valley State with a 7-0 lead here in Montgomery, Alabama. John Schriffen alongside Rini Angolia. Kickoff to Tuskegee goes out of bounds. So Tuskegee will have good field possession for their 2nd possession of the ball game. Now tonight is all about honoring the Tuskegee Airmen. The Red Tails, if you're not familiar, they're called the Red Tails because paint on the tails of their planes. Now, they were the first black pilots in the U.S. military. They're part of the 332nd Fighter Group and 477th Bombardment Group. From 1941 to 1946, over 1,000 African-American pilots trained at Tuskegee. And Rini, they really earned their praise for their ability to protect American bombers from enemy fighters. They had one of the lowest loss record of all escort fighters. They were certainly an impressive group of men.
There's no doubt about it. I mean, they're a part of aviation history for our country. Just incredible what they did and what they worked with.
Tuskegee on offense. This is Bryson Williams, keeps it himself, but he is decked by Tim Alderman, the defensive end.
And Alderman's one of the leaders of that Fort Valley State team. Defensive end, as you said, came up field there. And again, it was a little RPO that Tuskegee was trying to run, but very aggressive from the Fort Valley State defense as they get upfield.
Now, as we mentioned on the opening drive, it was a fierce quarterback battle throughout camp for Tuskegee between Bryson Williams, who's the starter tonight, and Ryan Nettles, who is the transfer from Alabama State, who was the freshman of the year in the spring football for the SWAC. Handoff up over the right side, pushing the pile again is Dante Edwards. He's going to be stopped, a gain of 4.
And he's a strong runner, and so you would hope you get that run on first down, right? So now you're ahead of the chains. You have a manageable second. You get the loss on first down. You come back to your big back on second down, but now you're stuck with third and long here, and we'll be interesting to see what offensive coordinator Aaron James dials up here.
Also something we talked about earlier, it's going to take a while for Bryson Williams to get comfortable in this new system.
Correct.
He played something completely different last year. He did play the spread offense in high school, so it is something he is familiar with. 3rd and 8, out of the shotgun. He's got protection, throwing downfield, completes. No, incomplete. Corey Petty, they said, was out of bounds.
And Petty, the young receiver, has been a standout. He was pleading his case. We'll get a look at it here. And that's a good call by the headline judge, right? He's right there, and the young receiver has that left foot on the white. And you got to have field awareness, right? You got to be able to just keep that one foot in, lift the other one up. The route was great. He stopped right at the yard to gain. It would have been a first down, but unfortunately, he's out of bounds.
So Bryson Williams, the quarterback, 0 for 3 with 1 interception so far on the night, as the punt team will come on for Tuskegee. Justin Harris is the deep man set to return for Fort Valley State, as Ryan Duff is getting set to punt it away, but we have a whistle and a delay of game.
And those are those unforced penalties that you just can't do to yourself.
Little game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains 4th down.
Coaches will tell you, you're playing against teams, right? And sometimes your competitors, they're going to force you into penalties because they're good, right? Those are the ones that just drive coaches nuts. The false starts, the delay of games, you can control those things. But unfortunately, you see that a lot, especially first game of the season.
Here comes the pressure. Duff, a short punt, goes out of bounds. Nice job on special teams by Fort Valley State to bring pressure on the punter and force the punt of just 23 yards.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they did. Up the middle, great pressure. Forced the punter to go a little quicker than he wanted to. And got a little bit of a, I hear this name sometimes when I'm golfing, a little bit of a shank. That's what it's called, yeah.
Only a little?
Every once in a while, You're like, how did that happen? Little hosel rocket.
So in the first series on offense for Fort Valley State, they took it 65 yards for a touchdown. Let's see what Kelvin Durham does here on their second possession.
Well, I'm assuming he's going to hand it to Emmanuel Wilson, because that's what I would do. He looks so good that first series.
Averaging 10 yards a rush right now. He does get the carry, makes a move, sheds one tackle, gets past the 50, still on his feet, eventually tripped up. But what a run. Messiah Wells, eventually the defensive end, tripped him up downfield, but a gain of 18.
And the safety, number 11, Stanley Livingstone's in great position. Watch, he's going to come up, make the tackle, get the head across the bow. He's right where he needs to be. But boy, Wilson's strong enough to break that tackle. And we just talked about it. Livingstone's one of those players, number 11, that was a corner. Now he's playing safety. You have to make tackles and run support. Right there, advantage Wilson.
They go back to Wilson, right up the middle. Another helmet comes off as Wilson is stuffed for a loss of 1. That's Josh McNeil who had his helmet come off.
And he's a transfer from Miles as well. Came over with Coach Ruffin, and he's a leader in the middle of that defensive line, so you cannot lose him for a helmet coming off, especially how good that Fort Valley State offensive line is. They're really controlling the line of scrimmage right now.
I mean, look at all the transfers just from Miles alone. They also have 6 D1 transfers coming on this team for Tuskegee this year, so it might take some time for them to mesh. Keeper for Durham, going deep, and that one is picked off. No, did that hit the ground first? Incomplete. Dante Brown did a nice job trying to sell it, But that's going to be an incomplete pass. And remember, here in D2 football, there are no replays.
And they're talking about it, but I saw the signal incomplete. We'll get a look at it in replay.
Oh, that looks like a catch.
Yeah, that's one of those ones that's just really close.
Ruling on the field was an incomplete pass.
Oh,
third down.
That's tough.
I'm with you, partner. It looked like the left arm was under, but it's so hard to tell, especially in real time. But it's going to go down as an incomplete pass. That would have been like one of these 3-minute reviews, I'm sure. You see he's got the arms together. See the nose of the football's on the left arm. I'm with you. I think he intercepted the ball.
But with no review, it's going to be an incomplete pass. That's what was called on the field. So it'll bring up 3rd and 11 for this Wildcats offense.
Yeah, the Tuskegee fans right now are throwing stuff at their TVs at home saying, can we catch a break, please?
3rd and 11. Durham going deep again, but overthrows his intended receiver. Was looking for Cordell Pimienta.
Yeah, good coverage on the outside there.
So a good stop on defense by Tuskegee. Gave up a touchdown in the opening drive. They come back and get the stop. Kelvin Durham on that drive as the quarterback was 0 for 3.
Yeah, a couple underthrown, then we see one overthrown. So, again, that rhythm, it takes time. First game out.
So Michael King is the deep man to return for Tuskegee as Rodney Williams is on to punt for Fort Valley State. And he bobbles the snap. Williams does get off a low line drive. This is actually going to work out for Fort Valley State, but we do have a flag down. Let's see what the call is.
Good job by the punter, young man, right? Didn't panic. Got it. Picked it back up and got a good punt off if it stands. We'll see what the call is here. As the officials talk.
We've seen a ton of flags in this first quarter.
Refs might have sore arms by the time this one gets over.
So it looks like it's going to go against Fort Valley State.
Well, and if you're Tuskegee, you definitely make them punt it over. I mean, the punt went to the 5-yard line. That's an absolute no-brainer.
No, that was hard. He said that shit was thick. I mean, that was hard.
Prior to the kick, holding, kicking team, number 43, 10-yard penalty from the previous spot, remains 4th down.
That is already the 7th penalty of this first quarter. And they're going to make Fort Valley State re-kick.
Well, yeah, and absolutely, because now you want that punt team to have to run down the field again a second time. So we'll see if the punter holds on to this one. Snap was a little high last time, but should have caught it.
So King is still the deep man set to return for Tuskegee. Snap is clean this time as Rodney Williams gets off a low spiral, but it goes into the end zone. Tried to angle it toward that corner. A 48-yard punt. Fort Valley State with an early 7-0. New quarterback for Tuskegee, the Alabama State transfer, Ryan Nettles.
And we'll see if Nettles can get him a spark. Of course, he was a SWAC freshman of the year last year. Good arm talent, good athlete. Let's see if he's the spark Tuskegee is looking for.
Nettles will hand off to Edwards, trying to go over the left side, will plunge forward past the 25.
And I'll sound like a broken record today and the entire season, but when you can do that on first down, right? 5-6 yards, stay ahead of the chains, it opens up the playbook immensely here. 2nd and 3, 2nd and 4. This is what the offense needs to do. Offensive coordinator Aaron James knows that. We talked about staying ahead of the chains, and that's a good play on first down.
So to bring up 2nd and short. Nettles working out of the shotgun, will hand off to Edwards again. Edwards plunging forward and will get the first down. Monday night, the last college football game of Labor Day weekend. Clemson will take on Georgia Tech. It's all going down 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific, 7 Eastern for College Football Countdown. You can watch on ESPN and the app. How good is Clemson going to be this year?
Well, you know, the sky was falling last year for Clemson, and they ended up with, what, 10 wins? And it was like disaster. So they'll go as DJ Uyunglele, their quarterback, goes. If he can have a decent year, it doesn't have to be off the charts, but a good, solid year, I think they have a really good chance to get back to the playoff again.
College football on Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I love opening week. Going back to the ground, this is Edwards, and he is chopped down in the backfield. That was Tyler Moore from his rover spot. Came up with an interception earlier. Now he's got that tackle for a loss of 5.
And I said it earlier, he's the best defensive player. Fort Valley State has really good team speed. And you see how he comes up from the outside, and Dante Edwards really nowhere to go. He is better between the tackles, as he's demonstrated tonight. You want a big back like that going lateral, and then your rover back, your strong safety Tyler Moore can come up and make that TFL tackle for a loss, and now you're way behind the chains.
You know what they love about Tyler Moore on defense? He's a guy who does it all.
Yep.
He holds on PATs. He's a long snapper. He takes kickoffs. He does whatever the team needs in practice to just get it done. 2nd and 15, dropping back. This is Nettle across the middle. That is complete. A gain of 14 over the middle.
That was
Corey Petty with the catch.
Petty with a nice skinny post, and you see the arm talent there by Ryan Nettles. He can really spin it. Throws a nice ball right there to Petty, who's becoming a standout. He's a young wide receiver as he comes out, but a nice catch. Not quite enough for the first down, but gets to 3rd and 1.
It was interesting when we talked to offensive coordinator Aaron James, the difference between Nettles and Williams. They said both of these guys are very similar. So even though Nettles is in and Williams got the start, they feel like the offense is not going to have any kind of drop-off.
Not going to change much.
So a timeout for Tuskegee on 3rd and 1.
Timeout Tuskegee.
And
this is their first charge.
The early difference I see between the two quarterbacks is, see how that ball popped off Nettles, right? Real tight spiral, real nice arm talent, stepped up in the pocket. Big, strong throw, big 6'4" frame. So I like the way he throws it right off the bat. And we'll take a look at it here. In the pocket, good blocking by the running back. But nice tight spiral, steps up, hits his receiver Petty in stride. It's a good-looking throw.
Well, he doesn't have to go far to play his first game. He played right down the street at Alabama State last season. For in the spring, he was the freshman of the year at Alabama State. He comes over here to Tuskegee with this entirely new coaching staff. They've got a ton of pieces to bring this program back to where it's been.
Yeah, and again, if you watch this game last year, and both these teams last year, completely different, right? We've already chronicled it. New coaching staffs, new players. I mean, again, Coach Ruffin told us in spring ball he had 47 players. Come to the fall, 82 newcomers, and that was his biggest worry was, okay, will they mesh quick enough, right? And so we're seeing that in game 1, and mesh, get that cohesiveness that you get over years. And actually, every team across the nation's going through that because the transfer portal, which is also known now as free agency in college football, is nuts.
All right, 3rd and 1, Tuskegee 0 for 2 on 3rd down so far tonight. They go to the ground, go to their big back, Dante Edwards, and he will rumble across the 50 to the 49 for a first down.
Yeah, good push by the offensive line. You run behind big 62, Nate Harrison. We talked to Nate this week. Big smile on his face. Love talking to him. Right there, little inside zone. Look at big 62. Great block right there. Excellent job, Stitton as well with a down block. Excellent job, and give it to your big back. Go get me the first down. Love it.
That's how I know
That
you're a former
me.
running back.
Yeah.
You highlight the offensive lineman.
Got to make them happy.
So 1st and 10, they back to the ground with Edwards going over that left side again, following Nathan Harrison. He was a preseason All-SIAC, a gain of 7, and Nathan Harrison really elevating this offense
And
now.
that's where I think they can have success, that inside zone with Dante Edwards, because when you get success there, then all of a sudden Fort Valley State's going to start pitching in, and then you can pull it, little zone read to the outside, little RPO, but you can establish that run inside behind those big uglies, and I mean that affectionately, you're going to have success offensively.
They're going to call that a gain of 8. It's 2nd and 2. Edwards stays in the game. We're going to have a shift. They're going to load up the right side. Edwards will go over that side, runs into his own man, and is stopped in the backfield. A loss of a yard on the play by the linebacker, Jalen Brown, making the tackle.
Yeah, another player the coach has told us very talented, flies around the football. And again, you're having success, right, with Dante Edwards in that inside zone. There you try to go a little outside zone. You see, when a big back like that, when his shoulders are towards the sideline, not what you want. You want those shoulders squared going downhill. That time, Jalen Brown comes up, makes the tackle, does not let Dante Edwards square those shoulders downtown, and makes that tackle.
So 3rd and 3. Nettles looking downfield. Now he will tuck it and run, and he will be about 1.5 yards short of the first down, tackled by Tim Alderman.
Good job by Nettles, though. Doesn't take the sack. As the pocket collapses, he steps up, he gets what he can. He gets it to about 4th and 2, where they'll clearly go for it here.
So last time they went on 4th down, they threw an interception. What's the play here?
I think this is an attitude play. You tell your offensive lineman up front, get us, win the line of scrimmage. We have a 225-pound back in Dante Edwards. He's going to carry the ball. We're going to go get this first down.
Yeah, this is essentially the same spot where they went for it on 4th down and threw that interception, but they have a different quarterback. This is Ryan Nettles on 4th and 2. Handoff. The push, and it looks like from the spot they got it.
And it wasn't Edwards. It's the other running back, but he does a nice job. Exactly what I would call good inside push right there. And again, big Nate Harrison, 62. Excellent job.
That was J.T. Elliott with the carry in the first down. So we know Dante Edwards has been a workhorse, but they've been going to him so much, they go to the backup. J.T. Elliott gets it done.
Nice job by Elliott. Get behind those pads, know what you need, and go get it. Keep the drive alive.
Under a minute to play here in this first quarter for Tuskegee. This is their best drive of the game so far. Fake the handoff, throwing downfield, incomplete. They were looking for Jordan Ogletree. Justin Harris was there to break it up.
But I tell you what, early on, a couple passes from Nettles. I like the way the ball leaves his hand. It goes out with some velocity, good play fake. He's got that nice high release as well. You're not going to have balls deflected with a big quarterback like that. But good defense on the back end by Justin Harris. Transfer from Georgia Southern there to break that up.
So Bryson Williams got the start for the first 2 drives. This is the first drive for Ryan Nettles, the backup tonight. And he is moving the ball. It is 2nd and 10 from the 39. Snap, looks right side. Can't make the one-handed catch. We're looking at Ogletree again. Once again broken up by Harris.
And that time I think Ryan Nettles rushed it. The blitz came up the middle, up A gap. Dante Edwards did a phenomenal job stepping up and taking that blitz, which would have given Ryan Nettles just that extra count that he needed. Didn't take advantage of it, rushed it a little bit, and you get an incomplete pass.
You know what's interesting for Fort Valley State on defense? They were really concerned about their corners. They're really young, wondering how they would respond. Justin Harris, the last 2 plays at corner, he's made the play. Now it's 3rd and 10. This is the 10th play of the drive for Tuskegee. Nettles with time, looking right again. That is complete to Rodriguez McGee. He is gang tackled at the 35. Ethan Manns was the first man there.
And a decision for Coach Ruffin when the start of the second quarter comes, because Husick, the kicker, has kicked a 51-yard field goal. So he's got the leg to kick it here, but he may decide to go for it. 4th and 5. When we come back.
That is the end of the first quarter here from the Boeing Red Tails Classic. Fort Valley State got off to an early 7-0 lead, but Tuskegee starting to move the ball. Come on back to Montgomery, Alabama after this.
This table is good.
I'm so ready.
Oh my God, why is no one sitting?
I am so ready.
All right.
It's okay. Fine. It's fine.
Yeah. It's only one person.
It's 2 people.
If we lean towards this way, maybe.
Yeah, okay.
No way.
What?
I want big.
Football's better on 40-foot screens. Right, Travis Kelce?
Dave & Buster's, where winners watch.
Every time you use your ICCU Premier Rewards Visa card, you're earning rewards.
cash back or points, being a member of Idaho Central really pays back. Start earning points and getting cash back for your everyday purchases. It's a win-win. Idaho Central Credit Union. We believe life should be rewarding.
Getting ready for the start of the second quarter here between Fort Valley State and Tuskegee in this Boeing Red Tails Classic game. John Striffen alongside my partner Rini and Goli. And Rini, it's 4th and 5 in Tuskegee offense. They're going for it.
I like the decision. Be aggressive.
Nettles throwing to the outside. That is complete. Corey Petty hauls it in for the first down.
And that's a big-time throw by Ryan Nettles on 4th down. He's at the far hash, folks. This is an NFL throw. Across the field. Good job by the young receiver, Corey Petty. Move the change, young man.
A gain of 9, new set of downs. Pump fake, now tucking it. And Nettles will be bottled up for a loss of 1.
You know what? It's a good decision, though. He takes the sack. He was going to throw it. The Fort Valley State defender flashed in front of him, so instead of throwing a ball that could get picked off, he just eats it and says, let me get what I can get. Yeah, it's a sack, but almost gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Now Nettles looks like he is shaken up after that play, so he's going to go off, and the starter, Bryson Williams, is going to come back out onto the field.
So they got good momentum now, and you talked about it earlier. Nothing changes in the offense between Williams and Nettles. They run the same offense. They can do the same thing. So let's see if Williams now can keep this energy going that Nettles has sparked coming in off the bench.
So after that loss on first down, it's 2nd and 11. Handoff is to Edwards. Juke move, makes a man go by him. Cuts it into the 22, a gain of 5. All right, you said Williams and Nettles run the same offense, but from what you've seen, does the offense look the same?
No, because I think Ryan Nettles, I think the ball leaves his hands a little quicker, a little faster delivery, and he spins it just a little better. Now we'll see if Bryson Williams warms up and gets you know, loose into this game and a little better.
So it brings up 3rd and 6 from the 22. Williams out of the shotgun, the lefty slinging it to the outside, throws it past his intended receiver, Antonio Meeks. Let's go back to Ryan Nettles and take a look at the shot he took.
Yeah, so he's going to hold the ball, doesn't throw, and let's see at the end here, comes in, and yeah, sure enough, Tyler Moore, number 1, comes in, so now you're yelling targeting. Of course, there's no booth review.
Looked like Jalen Brown who launched his helmet, but right, as you said, this is D2. There's no instant replay here. So this will be a 39-yard field goal attempt by Arnis Huskick. Huskick, the kick is up, and it is no good. Short. And when Ryan Nettles went off to the sideline for Tuskegee, that offense completely changed. 7-0 lead for Fort Valley.
Listen, I need y'all to download the AMP app so you can call in my show. Or you can call in someone else's show. Or you can start a show and people can call into your show. But either way it goes, it's all on the AMP app, so come on.
Man, these pants are perfect. I want to be as perfect as these pants.
Don't you die on me, Billy.
It's definitely just the pants.
Welcome back. We are here in the historic Crampton Bowl in Montgomery, Alabama. Originally started, did you know, as a baseball stadium, opened in 1922, that short left field porch. It was renovated back in 2011. Also plays host to the Camellia Bowl. That started in December of 2014. Just a beautiful venue for football. Both schools have turned out. It is a special night here on Sunday night in Montgomery, Alabama.
I think you could hit a home run there, John, that short porch in left field back in the day.
Think? Come on now.
After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, defense, number 44, 15-yard penalty, first down.
That's Jeremy Dees calls for that personal foul. And Rini, 17 plays, no points after that drive for Tuskegee. Their quarterback, Ryan Nettles, took a shot to the head. The backup came in. That's got to be deflating.
There's no doubt about it. And again, to us, no replay in Division II. It looked like the crown of the helmet by Jalen Brown, number 4. It looked like it would have been targeting if called.
Handoff is to Wilson. And Wilson is stopped in the backfield, a loss of 2. That is Jeremy Dees. Just called for that penalty, now makes up for it with the tackle for loss.
Getting aggressive, getting upfield, gets that TFL. I think it's important here for this Tuskegee defense. Get a stop. Get the ball back for your offense, because you said 17 plays, no points. I mean, that hurts if you're offensive coordinator Aaron James, but a lot of positives there to hold the ball for 17 plays.
With the loss on first, it'll bring up 2nd and 12 from the 36. Durham hands off to Wilson again. A gap up the middle. Still on his feet. Ball is punched out, but Wilson somehow gets it back. Wow, an explosion up the middle, a fumble, and avoids disaster.
Yeah, a little draw play to the left. Tuskegee blitz to the other side, so a great play call there by Joel Hirsch for Fort Valley State. Manuel Wilson just loses the ball, but boy, athletic enough to get back on it.
And that was Marquez Delafield who punched that ball out. Ended up being a gain of 32.
Ruling on the field that the defense recovered the ball out of bounds. First down.
So Fort Valley State offense on the move again. They scored on their opening drive of the game. This is a keeper by Durham over to the left side. Gets the edge, but is tripped up. And here comes a late penalty flag. Jordan Fletcher was the linebacker who tripped up Durham, but let's see what this penalty is.
And I was joking earlier about the official's arms getting sore, but I think it actually might be by the time this one gets over. That was a long throw, too, by the referee.
Doing the run, holding, offense, number 11. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Peak, first down.
And we'll take a look at it. Far right side of the screen, Shaw Robinson. You're going to see that's a good call. I mean, that's a good spot. Once he turns like that, if you're the receiver, and you know, it's hard for me to get on receivers because I love when receivers are blocking in the run game, right? He's trying, he's doing his best, but as soon as you turn him like that, just get off him because the referee's got a great angle that he's looking at that, and he's going to throw that flag.
So it was a 4-yard run, but backed up 10 yards with that holding call. It is 1st and 16. Durham drops back. One-on-one coverage on the outside. Incomplete. That was Delafield in coverage, breaking it up, intended for Sean Robinson.
Yeah, and the coaches told us Delafield was the best cover corner.
How about our Saturday night football game presented by Capital One? USC taking on Stanford. This is the 100th matchup between these two rivals. 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific. It all goes down on ABC and the ESPN app. Rini, how about the start of the Lincoln Riley era at USC?
Yeah, I think the SC fans are pretty happy with that start. So we'll see if they can keep that momentum. But yeah, they look like a much different team. Getting their money's worth so far after one game, let's say, out of Lincoln Riley. But we'll see.
Tuskegee showing the blitz. Handoff. This is Wilson trying to dance, but can't get away from the coverage. Antonio Kennan with the stop.
Yeah, tremendous job of that Tuskegee defense. Come up, get that running back away from north and south, spread him out, get him going to the sideline. Exactly what they did to Emmanuel Wilson right there, and they make that tackle.
What adjustment did you see from Tuskegee? Because Fort Valley went down the field the first drive.
I think they're more aggressive. We're seeing run blitzes out of them. They're coming upfield, and they're getting to the point of the attack quicker.
3rd and 16. Durham. Throw over the middle. That is complete to Warren. And the run after the catch will get the first down at the 20. And a defender is down after the play. Dante Brown, the cornerback, is the man down with his helmet off.
Warren makes a nice catch, though. He's one of those receivers. He can play inside and outside. Good protection up front and a good throw by Durham. Take a look here because a blitz comes again. Good protection. The running back Wilson steps up. An on-time throw by Durham.
Media timeout.
Needed 16. They got 18 yards for a first down for Fort Valley State. We'll be back after this.
What's up? I'm streaming here on AMP where the music is picked by people, not algorithms. Are you with it? There you go.
Yo, who else loves this song? Carlin.
Lil Yachty, what inspired you to start making music?
See, my father was a photographer, so I was always
Yeah, I heard good things. Hello. Can we throw in the football game?
You're going to have to ask him.
Okay. No.
Football's better on 40-foot screens. Right, Travis Kelce?
Huge TVs and lots of wings. Watch like a winner.
This season, for every field goal and extra point made by participating universities, All-State will make a contribution to the university's General Scholarship Fund. Thank you, All-State. They've been doing this since 2005. Here is Fort Valley State. This is Wilson. And he is going to be stopped just short of the end zone, marked out at the 3. Antonio Kennan saved the touchdown.
Yeah, a little option there. Fort Valley State. Nice job by Kelvin Durham. Holds it right to the end, pulls it right there. Little zone read option, then he flips it to Wilson, who gets it just inside the 5. First and goal for the Wildcats.
That's a gain of 17. And Wilson now up over 100 yards already on the game. And we're just in the second quarter.
10th carry of the game. Coaches told us he's getting 20 carries for sure and probably 25 touches. I think he's going to be north of that when it's all said and done.
But Wilson is still in the backfield. They give him the touch on first down, and he's in the end zone. Touchdown, Fort Valley State. A 3-yard touchdown run for Emmanuel Wilson. Second touchdown of the game for the Wildcats.
And I love that they give it to Wilson and let him finish it off. How many times you see a running back make a nice run all the way down there and they bring in another back to finish it up? Nope. Give it to Emmanuel Wilson. Go get yourself 3 yards and a touchdown, young man. He's having a heck of a first half.
Rodney Williams is on to attempt the extra point. And penalty flags as the ball does go through. Let's see what this is about.
I think Tuskegee had more than 11 on. We should have an illegal participation here. And Fort Valley State would decline that if that is indeed the call.
Illegal substitution. Defense. That penalty decline. The result of the play. Try is good.
Can't even hear him over the band, and I'm not mad about it. What an atmosphere here in Montgomery, Alabama, as Emmanuel Wilson scores Fort Valley State with a 14-0 lead. Coach Ruffin in his first season as athletic director and head football coach at Tuskegee. One of the hardest things a new coach has to do is to win over his players. And for Coach Ruffin, he's been very open and honest about all the hardship and tragedies he has faced in his life, specifically the loss of his wife, Monica. Now, back in 2015, after winning a championship with Miles, his wife, Monica, was on stage with him accepting the trophy. He said the very next day she found a lump in her breast and was diagnosed with breast cancer. Now, much of 2016, Coach Ruffin was away from his team with Miles as Tuskegee will take this kickoff. And a burst of speed by Grant Dispool takes it past the 40, past the 30, ridden out of bounds at the 25. So back to Coach Ruffin, a gain of 59 on the kickoff return by Poole. Coach Ruffin said 2016 he was away from his team at Miles for most of that year. It was tough on him trying to coach, be the athletic director, take care of his son, be there for his wife. Tragically, his wife passed away in January of 2017 due to breast cancer. took some time away, and he said, you got to be honest with your players and understand that you can't do everything. He had to take care of his son. So he said when he came here to Tuskegee, he wanted to lay the foundation, be the athletic director and the head coach, but realize going forward.
Sideline interference. Receiving team. 15-yard penalty from the end of the run. First down.
Coach Ruffin said he wanted to hand off the reins to his offensive coordinator, Aaron James, make sure he was set, because he said with the loss of his wife, wants to focus on being an athletic director and a father.
And Reginald Ruffin, he's a leader, not only of young men, of young people. And he mentioned that when he becomes the athletic director, he'll be able to help all the coaches, right, of all the different sports at Tuskegee. And just, I was so impressed talking to Reginald Ruffin, and as he said, he's been through so much and so much experience, and a great man. And I tell you what, they picked a good one in Aaron James to take over the program as well.
So Ryan Nettles is back at quarterback for Tuskegee with good field position. Handoff is to Edwards. Run up the middle for a gain of 2.
Boy, though, that great return by Poole. And of course, they take 15 yards off it, but sideline interference. Obviously, when the referee's running down that sideline, if anybody gets in the way, they're not giving you a warning now. They're going to hit you with a 15-yard penalty. And that was way away from the ball because Poole's return was to the other side of the field.
Second and 8 from the 41 for the Golden Tigers. Down by 14 here, under 9 minutes to play in the second quarter. Nettles keeps it, scrambles to the right, throwing downfield. That is complete. Looked like another helmet-to-helmet hit, complete by Treble, and a flag does come in as his helmet popped off.
A tremendous job by Nettles to extend the play as he rolls out of the pocket and throws a strike to his wide receiver.
Now, was this targeting?
Yeah, we'll get a look at it here, but the flag came in right there, and we did see the helmet of Montrevel come off after the catch. And remember, just to remind people at home, this is Division II. There is no replay official, so nothing gets stopped because of replay. Nothing can be checked because of replay. So whatever's called on the field, that's what they go with. And I should say whatever's not called on the field as well is what they go with.
The officials are still discussing this one.
When you see the field judge writing in his notebook, that means a call is coming up here.
Personal foul, targeting, defense, number 28. That penalty is half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
So that's Cameron.
28 is disqualified for the remainder of the contest.
So that's Cameron Johnson for Fort Valley State.
He's staying in. I mean,
he's going to have to come off the field.
Yeah, he doesn't want to come off. I don't know. Yeah, they're going to blow the whistle here and fine him because he's still on the field. Take a look at it right there, and it wasn't 28. They called the wrong number. That's why Cam's staying on the field.
Well, they're pointing to him. He's throwing his hands up like, what did I do?
Yeah, and it was 15, so it was Ethan Mans, who's one of the leaders, linebacker. So hopefully, see, and here's the problem now. With no replay, with no review, that's what the officials have, and they've just ejected the wrong player from this game. And there's Ethan Mans saying, do I put my hand up and say it was me?
Well, Johnson's actually back out on the field. He's trying to plead his case right now as Ethan Mans is like, yeah, I think it was me.
So it'll be interesting to see what happens here.
Correction. The targeting foul was on number 15. Number 15 is disqualified for the remainder of the contest.
So they get it right, which is good. And that's a big loss for Fort Valley State because Ethan Mans is a leader. He's a veteran, high motor guy. He's a guy that comes upfield, sets the edge. But you just can't dip the headlight. That's what that rule's put in there. It's as much protect the defensive player as it is the offensive player.
So a 15-yard gain, 13-yard penalty in the red zone. Hand off to Edwards. And he is pushed back. Caleb Thomas was the first guy up front to get the stop. All right, let's go back to that replay of the targeting on Ethan Mans.
So he's making the catch. He's going on the ground. He's a defenseless receiver, so you cannot have forcible contact to the head or neck area, but he also used the crown of the helmet, right? The crown now is defined as a 6-inch circle, really right around the top of the helmet, okay? It used to be just above the face mask. Now it's just really the top of the helmet, and he really dipped and went in there. So he really had all elements there. Forcible contact, head or neck, defenseless receiver, and he used the crowns. That's a good call by the officiating crew.
Quick snap. Nettles looked like he was surprised by this snap. Takes off on his own. Brought down by Kentrell Lawson. That'll bring up third down.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That snap came, did not look like they were ready. A little discombobulated on that play for sure, but Nettles makes the most of it there. Picks up what he can.
To your point about that targeting, that's not just to protect the offensive player.
Defense.
It's also defense. When you tackle, the stats have shown when you put your head down, you are more susceptible to injury as a defensive player as well.
Have to see what you hit, right? Keep that head up. Protect that neck. Just Ethan Mans that time. Dipped it, got caught, and he's out of this one.
3rd and 7 for Tuskegee. Nettles keeps looking, end zone. Who's got it? Waiting on the signal. That's Jordan Ogletree, came away with it. It's a touchdown.
Tremendous protection up front by the Tuskegee offensive line. Good job by Nettles. Sets in the pocket. Zeroes in on his big receiver, Ogletree, the veteran. That inside slant, he puts it on him. Good route.
A 10-yard touchdown pass, and the extra point is blocked. But Tuskegee finally gets on the board here in this second quarter after Ryan Nettles comes back into the game.
An important answer for the Golden Tigers. Nettles, Ogletree, and Tuskegee's on the board.
Can we throw in the football game?
You're going to have to ask him.
Okay. Football is better on 40-foot TVs. Just ask football's #1 fan, Travis Kelce.
Dave & Buster's, where winners watch. Man, these pants are perfect. I want to be as perfect as these pants.
Don't you die on me, Billy.
It's definitely just the pants.
Welcome back to Montgomery, Alabama, the Boeing Red Tails Classic. John Schriffen alongside Rini Angolia. Tuskegee, for the first time in the history of this game, the 2-year history, Tuskegee's on the board.
Talked about it. They were blank last year, so very important for this program. Get some points on the board. We saw a 17-play drive earlier where they couldn't finish it off with points. Nice drive there. Touchdown on the board. And, again, much different ball club, Tuskegee, than the one last year. Heading in the right direction for sure.
And a sigh of relief that Ryan Nettles is okay after taking the shot to the head, went off, came back out for that drive, and threw the touchdown pass to Ogletree.
Could have been targeting on that play as well. It was kind of in traffic, so I don't think the officials got a great look at it.
Huskick is set to kick off for Tuskegee.
But as you said, very good that Nettles is back in this game for Tuskegee.
Pimienta on the return for Fort Valley State. He is tripped up at the 35. How about the U.S. Open? Round of 16. It continues tomorrow morning on ESPN at 11 a.m. Eastern and 8 Pacific, and continues at 7 Eastern on ESPN2 with 4 hours of primetime coverage. As always, every point is streaming live on ESPN. How about this? Did you know Lionel Richie attended Tuskegee on a tennis scholarship?
I heard he had an unbelievable forehand. That's what I heard.
I thought it was all about the serve.
A little easy like Monday morning for Lionel Richie. I like it. See what we're doing there. Good stuff. How about Serena Williams, though, right, in all seriousness? Man, I had tears in my eyes. Just not only one of the best tennis players ever, one of the best athletes we've ever seen.
You know what I loved about her farewell speech? Acknowledging her sister, Venus. On first down, the swing passes to Wilson as he's pushed out of bounds.
So just on that quickly, I'm the youngest of 5, too. The baby siblings, end up always being better because you're always trying to impress the older siblings and keep up with the older siblings. And if you haven't seen the movie King Richard about them,
it was incredible.
It's great. And it just tell my daughters all the time, there's no substitute for hard work. They didn't become the best in the world, best ever, for not working hard. So watch that movie if you haven't seen it.
On 2nd and 3, this is Durham going deep. Just overthrows Pimienta.
But Durham throws a nice deep ball. We've seen a couple today. And again, doesn't connect. Timing's not quite there. But again, that's where you want it thrown, where either your receiver, Pimienta, catches it or no one does.
So 3rd and 3, and all of a sudden, even though Fort Valley State has the lead, it feels like Tuskegee's got the momentum.
Absolutely, and you got some, encouragement going. You got the touchdown, so now you can be aggressive here. But 3rd and 3, I wouldn't put it against Joel Hirsch and Fort Valley State to run it here with their big back, Emmanuel Wilson. He's had a nice night so far.
A 4 wide receiver set for the Fort Valley State offense on 3rd and 3. Durham will hand it off, and tackled short is Wilson. Vincent Hill, the linebacker, making the big stop.
Aggressive run blitz there by Tuskegee. You see that good push. Josh McNeil, 21, got some good penetration, but I believe that Joel Hirsch was told by head coach Sean Gibbs, hey, we got 2 downs to get this, so they're going for it. He knew he was going to go for it on 4th if they didn't pick it up, and here we go.
Do you like this on their own side of the field?
Listen, this is aggressive. I like it, and this is a great opportunity for Tuskegee to get a stop. This would really shift the momentum. Let's see.
First 4th down, they're going for the game for Fort Valley State. This is 4th and 2. Kelvin Durham looking at the side. Play clock is at 1, and he does not get it off. They're going to call a timeout to save the delay of game.
Yeah, Sean Gibbs, the head coach, right there. Saw it running down, called that timeout.
This is their first charge timeout of the half.
So now they'll think about it right now. See if they go for it on the other side of this timeout.
All right, we were talking about Serena Williams. What I loved about it was she was still trying to go out on top. It wasn't just like, oh, I'm going to give you a match and just to show the fans. No. She won the first round, then the second round, and she put up a fight in that third round
And everybody
match.
thought that second round match, like, okay, this is it. This is the swan song. It's all done. Nope, she wins it. And as you said, was close to winning that third one. But, I mean,
that second line,
it's ridiculous.
I know everyone looks at the titles, but the amount of wins in majors is unbelievable.
Yeah, the best ever, no doubt about it. And as I said, she's up there as one of the greatest athletes of all time. 23 major titles. But I just like, how hard she worked, and it's just an incredible story. And I like how hard Sean Gibbs is working, because he says, we're going to go for it again on 4th down here. We're going to stay aggressive.
This could be a big play in this game with 5:12 to play in this first half. 4th and 2, and we got motion. A false start will be called against Fort Valley State.
Well, and I think that decision is going to be made now. I think Fort Valley State will punt it now.
False start. Offense, number 13. 5-yard penalty, remains 4th down.
That would have been great, too, if you could have ran a little play action, because Tuskegee literally had 11 guys within inside of 3 yards of the line of scrimmage. I mean, they were going to sell out for a run. I would have loved to see a little play action pass there, but false start. Now they'll punt it. But a good stop by Tuskegee defensively. And you're right, John. You could feel the momentum start to switch a little bit here.
So that was Gentry Sparks, the tight end, call for the false start. Michael King is the deep man, ready to set this punt for Tuskegee. Bobbled snap. Rodney Williams gets the kickoff. End-over-end kick. It's going to take a Fort Valley State roll and will be downed inside the 30. Monday night, the last college football game of Labor Day weekend. We got Clemson. We got Georgia Tech. It all goes down. 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. It'll start at 7 Eastern with College Football Countdown. You can watch it on ESPN and the ESPN app.
And I think it's an important year for Jeff Collins, too, the head coach of Georgia Tech. And, of course, you got to open up with Clemson, who I think, again, has a really good chance of getting to the college football playoff. See Will Shipley, what he did as a freshman. Yeah, pretty good there, 5-0 during those stats. So I think we'll see a lot of one Will Shipley tomorrow night.
The offense for Tuskegee back out on the field. Nettles rolling out to his right. Will find his man in motion. That's Rodriguez McGee with the catch.
And I'd like to call rolling Nettles out, because you kind of roll the protection out with him. Buys you a little extra time against a quick, aggressive defense like Fort Valley State. Good throw, and Nice 7-yard pickup on first down.
You can even see the confidence in Ryan Nettles. When he is in the pocket, in the huddle, he just brings a different energy to the team. 2nd and 3. Handoff is to Edwards, and he gets through, spin move, dragging a defender past the 45, picking up the first down.
And Edwards is just a tough runner between the tackles. I mean, he's that downhill back you want on that inside zone, as we got an offensive lineman for Tuskegee down. Don't want to see that.
Can't see the number right now. Trying to figure out who that is down for Tuskegee on the offensive line. Looks like it's Chancellor Holloman who is down for Tuskegee. They will attend to him, and we will step aside for this quick break.
The Boeing Red Tails Classic is brought to you by McDonald's Black and Positively Golden Movement, elevating the next generation of black excellence.
Welcome back to Montgomery, Alabama. Tuskegee on the move. Handoff. It's to Edwards. Dances. He will be dragged down at the 49-yard line by Christian Maddox. You know, all night we are honoring the Tuskegee Airmen. It is incredible because when it was first set up, it was a test. They wanted to see if African Americans had the physical and mental ability to be pilots. They went through all the gauntlets, and when we talked to Coach Ruffin about it, he says, I tell my kids, the Tuskegee Airmen, they were set up to see if they would succeed with limited resources. So when you now go play in a game like this, look at yourself. Don't use excuses. Go out there, be resilient, fight through adversity. That's what the Tuskegee Airmen were all about. Nettles hit as he throws, passes broken up, incomplete. Solomon Riggins got the pressure.
And just to get back on it, not only did they succeed, they overachieved. I mean, they made aviation history in this country, so we all owe a debt of gratitude to the Tuskegee Airmen, no doubt about it.
So Solomon Riggins slow to get up as he was the one who applied the pressure. And Coach Ruffin, he said, we take our players to see where the Tuskegee Airmen trained. We take our recruits there. That's part of the recruiting trip. That is an important part of history and Tuskegee. And this game, he says, it is all about the history and honoring it. And he goes, guys, enjoy this night because tonight it's going to be a night you're going to tell your grandkids about.
And talking to some of the players before the game, they all understand how important this game is and what the Tuskegee Airmen meant to us as a country.
3rd and 7. Ryan Nettles in at quarterback for Tuskegee. Dropping back, looking to throw. Down the middle. Overthrows his receiver. Was looking for Jordan Ogletree, who already has a touchdown catch tonight.
Yeah, good protection, but Fort Valley State dropped back. They had 6 in coverage there. Really good zone coverage on the back end. Just nowhere for Ryan Nettles to go. Good defense there.
What a recruiting tool. Right? I mean, we all talk about recruiting trips and what it takes to get players and get. When you can take a recruit to where the Tuskegee Airmen trained, that is special. So Ryan Duff is on to punt for Tuskegee. Justin Harris is set to return for Fort Valley State. A good high punt. Fielded inside the 10, backed up at the 5 and out of bounds. What a punt by Ryan Duff, switching field possession. Well, we talked about what Coach Ruffin has gone through in terms of tragedy, and earlier he had to deal with tragedy with this team. Wide receiver Reginald Summons was tragically shot and killed after trying to break up a fight. He was 20 years old. Coach Ruffin told us he is honoring Reginald Summons with the R7S, this logo on the back of everyone's helmet. Coach Ruffin said it really hurt because it couldn't have happened to a better kid. It was so tough, he said, because this summer he hurt his knee, wasn't able to participate, but he came to the coaching staff and said, what can I do? What can I do to make everyone better? Can I bring out the balls? Can I just do something at practice? And that's what he loved about Reginald Summons. Handoff. A short game for Emmanuel Wilson. And so Coach Ruffin said, by putting RS7 on the back of everyone's helmet, I want guys to remember Reginald Summons and say, what would Reginald do? He never made excuses ever at any point. Remember him every time you step on the field.
Yeah, said he was a great kid. He's really just trying to break up a fight. He wasn't even the start of everything, and unfortunately lost his life. And, you know, so it's great that they're honoring him, and they'll have those stickers on their helmet. And as you said, they'll know when they're feeling tired, you know, what Reginald would do, how hard he would work.
2nd and 6 for Fort Valley State. Passes complete to the outside. That's Corinthian Edmonds still on his feet across the 30. The Wildcats are really high on Corinthian Edmonds. They feel like this is going to be his year.
Yeah, Delta State transferred a good ball by Kelvin Durham. On time, in rhythm to the receiver. Lets him turn up. Little yak yards after the catch. It's a nice job.
How about Sean Gibbs? Longtime assistant coach, first time getting a head coaching opportunity. He's got a 14-6 lead here as we approach 2 minutes to play in this first half. Durham, quick pass. Kentrell Williams. He is tripped up out of bounds. Another player's helmet comes off.
And Kentrell Williams, 0 for Fort Valley State. He's their really big downhill runner. 225 pounds, turns the corner, and there's a reason why that helmet came off of Delafield, the corner. You don't want to stick your nose in there when you're a corner on a 225-pound back, but that's what you want to do if you're Kentrell Williams. You pay off the run and say, hello, I can hit you too.
So 1st and 10 for Durham. Good protection, slings it downfield, has a man, but overthrows his receiver. Jaron Lawson had a couple steps on the defense, but just overthrown.
Yeah, good speed by Lawson down the seam. And this is just the timing issue, right? That you run into that first game. Had a couple steps on the defender, the ball just gets overthrown. He knows he had him too. Would have been a big score.
So 2nd and 10 from the 45. That's Lawson, the man in motion. Handoff goes to Williams. Over that left side, tripped up. Bring up 3rd and short.
Yeah, important defensive series here for Tuskegee, because worst case scenario, you got to get to the locker room at 14-6. It's a one-score ball game. You give Fort Valley State points here, you're going to give them big momentum at halftime.
3rd and 3. A 4 wide receiver set. Lawson will move across the formation. He now goes into the slot. Under a minute to play here in this first half. Fort Valley State, they're taking their time. Durham will step up in the pocket. He will run. He has the first down. A penalty flag is down behind the play.
And it's thrown in the area of holding.
It was an 18-yard scamper by Durham, but let's see what the call is.
Yeah, it might have been Waylon Bell, 75, that got caught with his hand in the cookie jar. We'll see here.
Holding, offense, number 75, 10-yard penalty, man, 3rd down.
Left side of the screen right there, big 75. He's got that left hand hooked, and now when he comes back inside, see that right hand? Really easy for the center judge to see that. Once you lose like that engagement, you just got to let go. It's hard, easier said than done, and Waylon Bell's been playing an excellent game today up front. First team preseason All-SIAC. Just that time, got caught.
For Fort Valley State, that's now their 7th penalty for 78 yards here in this first half. Clock continues to tick, 30 seconds to play in this first half. Durham on 3rd and long, he will step up again, has some space, has the first down, dips his shoulder. How about Kelvin Durham, a gain of 16 on the quarterback keeper.
I love the call. That's a called quarterback draw. Tuskegee gets upfield because it's 3rd and long. They think he's going to throw it. Great blocking up front.
This is the 2nd charge timeout of the half.
Durham hits it straight ahead, knows he's got to get 16, picks it up. They take a timeout, and with 22 seconds left here, almost in field goal range.
So with 22 seconds to play, do you take a shot to the end zone here, or is this all about setting up the field goal?
You know, I think if you can get about another 12 yards, you'll get a shot at a field goal. So if you're Sean Gibbs, you're Fort Valley State, worst case scenario, give yourself a chance to put some points on the board and make it a 2-score game at halftime. And then, of course, if you're Tuskegee, you got to do everything you can here to keep them off the board, keep it a 1-possession game going into the locker room at half.
Now, with 1 timeout remaining, do you still have the run game in play?
I think you do. But if it's me, I like to give Kelvin Durham a run-pass option, right? If there's nothing there through the air, he can use his feet. But, yeah, I think the field's still wide open to you. Still got 1 timeout. And, of course, college football, don't forget the clock stops after a first down. So you can still use the middle of the field here. And you can really go inside handoff, a little inside zone to Emmanuel Wilson, the big back who's had a great first half.
Got 3 wide receivers to the white. Now Sean Robinson goes in motion. 22 seconds to play. Durham looking deep to Pimienta. Throws it out of bounds.
And there's no way they were going to go inside zone. That's just, me as an offense coordinator. I tell you what I was impressed with there. As great as Emmanuel Wilson has run the ball in this first half, stepping up and blocking the blitz. I love to see that out of running backs. Step up, stick your nose in there. It's just not about carrying the ball. It's about pass protection, picking up that blitz. And Wilson's done a nice job. Left side of the screen, number 1. Watch him step up. Take that blitzer on. It's a cut block, but it's a good power cut block because you're right at the thigh. It's right where you want to be. Get that big defensive lineman down by your quarterback that time.
Wilson so far, 15 carries, 110 yards and 1 touchdown, averaging almost 9 yards per carry. Here's Durham. Pocket breaks down. He's going to step up and get out. He's looking for the sideline, and he gets out of bounds. Stanley Livingstone was the man who forced him out, but Durham with 5 seconds left.
And it'd be about a 50-yard field goal from here, so we'll see what kind of confidence they have in their kicker. And they may just keep the offense on. One last play, take a shot at the end zone here. See possibly if you get a defensive pass interference to extend the half by a play. And they'll keep the offense out there for this last play here.
4 wide receivers on 3rd and 1, and Tuskegee, they're going to use a timeout with 5 seconds to play.
Yeah, and that's a good call because defensively here for Tuskegee, if you're Rashad Watson, you got to tell your defensive backs, nothing gets by you. Nothing gets over your head. Everything's in front because with 5 seconds left, even if they throw it underneath, they're not going to have enough time to stop the clock. So there's 1 play left in this half. Keep it in front of you. Even if they catch it, just come up and make the tackle. And then, if you're Fort Valley State as well, if you do have some confidence in your kicker, you can try to do a quick out here, right? Take 3-4 seconds, get out of bounds, maybe pick up 5-6 yards on a quick speed out. Give your kicker a little more room. So it'll be interesting here to see what Joel Hirsch, the offensive coordinator for Fort Valley State, calls.
They see Coach Ruffin in that huddle, but that's all defensive coordinator Rashad Watson. Coach Ruffin gives his coordinators a lot of freedom.
Yeah.
And he says, I want to build them up, and I want to bring up the next generation of coaches. You see him out there surveying the scene, but it was all Coach Watson dialing things up.
And he said he looks at his assistants. It's like his career. Someone gave him a chance. He's become a head coach. Now he's going to pass it on to the younger coaches. And Tuskegee's in a good position with their football team. There's no doubt.
5 seconds to play. This could be the last play of the half. Durham slings it to the outside, almost picked off. Tuskegee was all over it, but that's how the first half will end. Incomplete pass.
Yeah, good break on the ball by Stanley Livingstone. I got a little nervous there. I talked about not letting him get deeper than the deepest man, but they almost did. But good job by the safety to come over. Just can't hold on to it, but knocks it away. Good defense. And listen, if you're Tuskegee, you get the stop, you need it. It's a 1-score game going to half.
What'd you think of that first half?
Much better than last year's game, if anyone remembers it, watching it. I watched it a couple times. 2 much different teams, much more competitive game. Great stuff first half.
Well, Emmanuel Wilson, he has gone to work for Fort Valley State in this first half. The Wildcats have a 14-6 lead here in this Boeing Red Tails Classic. We are at the half. We'll come back to Montgomery, Alabama after this. You're watching the Boeing Red Tails Classic from historical Crampton Bowl in Montgomery, Alabama. We are at the half. The band's on the field. You know the fans loving this. Fort Valley State with a 14-6 lead over Tuskegee as we get set for the start of the third quarter. Let's take a look at the first half stats. And for Fort Valley State, circle that top one. 169 yards on the ground compared to just 64 for Tuskegee. Total over 200 yards so far, but penalties racking up for both teams. Fort Valley State with a 14-6 lead. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the booth. Alongside my running back, he's Rini Angolia. I'm John Schriffen. Well, Rini, it's all about the run game for Fort Valley State. They are getting it done. Yeah,
I think offensive line play really good for Fort Valley State. You know, Emmanuel Wilson had 110 yards himself on the ground. I think the rest of the offense had 106 combined. So it was all Emmanuel Wilson. Very good push up front from that offensive line. And that's really been the story of the game right now as we take a look. Good inside running. Wilson, love how he gets through the hole. Good quickness, and he finishes off his runs. A little stiff arm there. Again, good down block there. And just see him fight off the defenders from Tuskegee as he gets down. And then a touchdown here that made it 14-0. Good push by that offensive line, that left side. And then a little draw play by Kelvin Durham, the quarterback, who's had a really consistent first half running and throwing the ball. Excellent decision there. Pick up a first down, keep that drive alive. And then the touchdown, the option, a little fake, keeps it, runs up the ladder, in, out to that corner pylon. But yeah, the difference to me so far is that offensive line for Fort Valley State really done a nice job controlling the line of scrimmage.
Kelvin Durham getting it done at quarterback. Emmanuel Wilson, the running back, getting it done. For Tuskegee, they started with Bryson Williams at quarterback. He was 0 for 4 on his first two drives. They went to the backup Ryan Nettles, and he was very effective the rest of the way.
I just think the ball pops out of his hands a little quicker, a little tighter spiral. So I think Nettles is the quarterback they're going to go with. Gives Tuskegee a little bit of a spark.
So Tuskegee, we saw Nettles. He took a shot to the head, went off to the sideline momentarily. When he came back into the game, totally different look on offense for Tuskegee.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think the swagger he brings, again, I like the way he stands tall in the pocket. He's 6'4", can really see over those offensive linemen, and the ball delivers out of his hand nicely with a tight spiral.
First-year head coach and athletic director, Coach Ruffin. What does Tuskegee need to do to get back in this game?
Well, the fact that they got the touchdown, they missed the extra point, but they got it within a one-score game, and then the defense had to stop there late, right? So I think they're in a good position. I'd like to get their running game with Dante Edwards going a little bit more and spread it out. Let your quarterback Nettles spread the field because I think he can find some open receivers. He found some in that first half, and see if they can get that spark play, right? See if they can get it to a receiver. They break a tackle and take 40, 50 yards to the house. Really get some momentum for Tuskegee. We'll see if they can get a big play in the second half.
Now, we weren't sure what kind of game we were going to get. Both teams, new head coaches, a ton of new players for both teams. But even though we have seen a bunch of penalties, so far it's been a pretty good game.
Different than last year. I think both these programs are going in the right direction. A lot of new players, a lot of new coaches. And you're right, you're going to see a lot of penalties in the first game. And that's just kind of normal for any football program. And so certainly we've seen a lot of penalties today. But, you know, I think to start this second half, Tuskegee's in a good position. We'll see how they come out with some momentum. See if they can get some stops.
Fort Valley State with a 14-6 lead at the half. You know, this crowd was amped up for the Battle of the Bands at the halftime. That's what we come to see when HBCUs take the field. This Boeing Red Tails Classic in Montgomery, Alabama. Now, rain is falling. For the most part, we've had really good weather so far here in Montgomery, Alabama. But that's not going to stop the party tonight.
The crowd's been great. A lot of people piled in here tonight. Bands put on a terrific show at halftime as usual, as expected, of course. Let's see if the football players, both teams, can give an equally as good show here in the second half.
Now, think about it for Tuskegee. This is the season of 700.
Yeah.
Tuskegee is sitting on 699 all-time wins. One of the winningest HBCUs in the country. Wouldn't that be something special for Coach Ruffin if his first win could be 700 for the school?
Yeah, so I mean, we're either going to see the 700th win, right, of Tuskegee's program, and Coach Ruffin's first as the head coach, or we're going to see Fort Valley State, Sean Gibbs' first win as a head coach in his career. So a couple of firsts tonight, no matter what.
I have certainly enjoyed my time here in Montgomery, Alabama. There was a party out in downtown last night. Tons of people are in town supporting and really celebrating HBCUs, what they bring to the table for these young student athletes, giving them the platform to shine here tonight on national TV.
So that's where you were. I mean, the phone rang a lot. I thought you were in bed sleeping.
You didn't hear the music?
Now I know.
DJs out there,
now
performers, people out in tents. It was fun, man. I mean, this is what the Boeing Red Tails Classic is all about. The pageantry, celebrating HBCUs. The band is out in full force, and we are getting set for the start of the third quarter.
How about all the RVs when we pulled up, too? A lot of great tailgating going on today. Got the court there, looking great, dressed up, nice. Got the umbrella sprinkled a little, as you said.
So we are getting ready for the second half kickoff. Fort Valley State. Ooh, yeah, get into it.
You look like you'd play a little saxophone, John. If I was going to peg you, I'd say saxophone.
All right, I'm not mad at that. Now here's the question: can you play and move with it?
No, my daughter played French horn growing up, so I had to buy a bunch of French horns. I think she broke one, lost one. Those days are over.
Fort Valley State getting set to return. This is Corey Petty. Takes it across the 15, stutter step, breaks it to the outside, and will be forced out of bounds at the 30. A late flag does come in behind the play.
Shocker. And they had some nice returns tonight from both teams.
As it stands, it's a 29-yard return, but let's see what the call is on the field.
During the return, hold it. Number 23, 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. First down.
Ready? Let's go. Get out.
So with a 14-6 lead, we start this third quarter. Fort Valley State Wildcats have the ball. What impressed you the most in their first half of their offense?
The offensive line, listen, I think they got after it. And, of course, Emmanuel Wilson, right? 13 carries, 110 yards. Coach told us he was going to get at least 20 carries, 25 touches in total. Hasn't really caught the ball, so I think we're going to get a big dose of Emmanuel Wilson again here in the second half for Fort Valley State.
So the holding penalty moves them back. They will start on their own 12-yard line.
And Kelvin Durham's done a nice job managing the game, and it's not a bad thing to say a quarterback's managing the game.
Bumping to the outside, this is Wilson. And he's still on his feet. Walks out of bounds at the 31. I mean, initial was up the middle. That was stuffed. So he just bounces outside.
Yeah, deceptively fast, right? An inside zone. It gets blown up back. He's bouncing. You see him transition the ball to the outside hand. Now he turns the corner. Once you turn the corner, you got 5 yards automatically. He's able to turn it, get upfield. Nice pickup.
Marked out at the 30. That's a gain of 18 on first down for Wilson.
Yeah, he's going for 2 bills tonight. There's no doubt about it. He's running hard. He wants that number.
Wilson will move to the right of Durham. First and 10 from the 30. They go back to Wilson, trying to go off the left side. Finds a crease, gets upfield. He does a really nice job of making a move and then going.
When he set that block up to 77, Kenneth Colston, KJ, big left tackle. Watch this little, just ride him out, right? Ride him out and then cut inside of him. Great job. Set your tackle up. Boom. Upfield, square to shoulders, finish off the run. I mean, they're controlling the line of scrimmage, and hopefully he's okay. Hopefully that's just a little cramp.
So Wilson is going to get stretched out on the sideline. Second and 3. Fake the handoff, keeping his Durham. Throws it up on air underneath this one. It is caught. No, incomplete. Edmonds looked like he had it. A perfectly lofted pass, but couldn't reel it in.
Yeah, you can't put it there any better. That's just one, he just right through the breadbasket. So that's that one on Monday morning, maybe Tuesday here in film room. You just don't want to watch because you're like, man, I owe you one. You just look at your quarterback, Kelvin Durham, and say, I owe you one, because that was a perfect pass in the breadbasket, and I dropped it.
Now, Durham's numbers may not be great, just 3 of 12, but he's throwing passes on the money tonight. See Wilson right now on the sidelines, continuing to get worked on. Handoff is to Williams, and Williams goes nowhere. That front four for Tuskegee, they came up huge.
And that was DeVar Hamilton. He's the Utah transfer, right? So played Power 5 football. They're expecting a lot out of him this year for Tuskegee. Good penetration there, getting that tackle for the loss for Hamilton.
Now, DeVar Hamilton is a guy you said come from Utah, but he is the backup tonight. Messiah Wells, the freshman, they said he deserved the start. But you see DeVar Hamilton saying, you know what? I might get some more playing time after a tackle for loss like that. Going to force a punt for Fort Valley State. King is the deep man. Rodney Williams is set to punt this one away, and we have some early movement. That could be offsides.
It's probably going to be on the defense, because the defense moved, which caused the offense to react. So this is something new that the officials really look at. It's going to be 5 yards, and that should give Fort Valley State a first down. That's a horrible penalty. You can't do that.
Defense, number 48, 5-yard penalty. Penalty results in the first down.
Xavier Frilou jumped off sides and gives new life to this Fort Valley State offense.
And that's that unforced penalty, right? The discipline. You've got a great stop defensively. One-score game, you're going to get the ball back. Now you give them a fresh set of downs. You just can't do that.
So Wilson is now going to get up. And the big concern for the Wildcats is their star running back still on the sideline.
And you got to hope he's just cramping a little bit if you're a Fort Valley State fan, and get him hydrated and back in his ball game, because he is running the ball exceptionally well tonight.
Fake the handoff, throw across the middle, incomplete, looking for Warren on the slant. Now is Antonio Kennan, the free safety, breaking it up.
Yeah, good tight coverage there on the back end. Durham tries to fit that in there.
And here's a good sign. Wilson back in the game at running back for the Wildcats.
And he's got a good excuse to be tired tonight, because he's been carrying the load. There's no doubt about it. 15 carries, 135 yards already, just the start of the second half.
Lawson, the man in motion, he settles into the slot. Quarterback keeper, Durham gets across the 50. Ball comes out, but he was already ruled down. A gain of 9.
Yeah, and that's a great read by Kelvin Durham in the zone read. Watch him stick it in the belly. He's reading. Read 33. 33 goes with Wilson. Durham pulls it. Great job. That was Messiah Wells, the defensive end. Durham's reading him. Perfect pull there.
Man, this rushing attack for Fort Valley State, they're averaging almost 9 yards per carry. Unbelievable job tonight. It brings up 3rd and 1 from the 50. Play clock winding down. Handoff. Wilson, stutter step, gets through the hole up the middle. Tackled by Stanley Livingstone, but Wilson already got the first down, a gain of 11.
Yeah, they like running that left side behind Waylon Bell, 75. We called his number out a bunch tonight, 77. Kenneth Colston as well, big left tackle. 6'5", 320-pound freshman, and of course Emmanuel Boone, the center. So a nice job by that offensive line. Good push. Wilson picks the first down easily.
So Fort Valley State content with running the clock this first drive in this third quarter. Durham lofts one up to the outside. One-on-one coverage, incomplete. Was looking for Edmonds. It was Dante Brown, one of the young cornerbacks in coverage.
And, you know, I've been impressed with a lot of the corners on both teams tonight. Good coverage. Brown this time right there. Little bump, and then he looks back at the last second. Good job looking back, because if you look back, even though there's a little bump, you're never going to get called.
2nd and 10, you think they go run now?
I mean, I would, because you're just having so much success. So you take the shot on first down, I get it. Get back to your bread and butter, maybe a little zone read here. Let Durham decide if he's going to hand it or pull it.
This is the 9th play of the drive here for Fort Valley State. Tuskegee showing blitz. Quick pass to the outside. That's Lawson, and he is wrapped up quickly. Antonio Kennan with a shoestring tackle. That brings up 4th down.
Yeah, it was the right call. Run blitz.
Excuse me, 3rd.
Run blitz, they throw to it, but you're right, Antonio Kennan, the free safety again, former corner, comes up and makes that tackle. Excellent job.
So 3rd and 10. What are you dialing up here?
Something high percentage. I'd go draw or screen, try to catch them off guard, but I think they're probably going to go downfield with it.
Durham. Pass to the outside, bobbled, and a flag is down. Josh McNeil was the guy who applied the pressure to the quarterback.
And it's probably going to be roughing the passer, so another huge penalty on Tuskegee.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense, number 21, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
So there's McNeil keeping the drive alive. They got the stop again on 3rd down, but a penalty keeps it alive.
That's 2 penalties now, right, that have kept the drive alive, and that's just Tuskegee shooting themselves in the foot. You just can't do that. I get it, you want to be aggressive, you want to get a hit on the quarterback, but man, you got to have situational awareness. Let's take a look at the call here. Right in the middle screen, 21, and yeah, I mean, it's a little high, it's a touch late, and you just got to know in today's day and age, they're going to call that, especially when you're a touch high like that. You just have to pull off, give them a little less of a tap, and you'll be okay. But they're going to call that every single time.
So it's 1st and 10 from the 25. Durham keeps it himself, and the blitz gets home this time. Fletcher Jordan, the linebacker, the first guy in there on the sack as Tuskegee dials it up nicely on defense.
Yeah, and they're getting a little sick and tired of seeing Emmanuel Wilson break through. So good run blitz there as Fletcher Jordan gets in there, and I think Rashad Watson, the defensive coordinator, is going to get really aggressive here.
So that was actually a run, so no sack applied for Jordan. They did get a loss of 5. 2nd and 15. The man in motion gets into the slot. Here's Durham looking right side, swings it out to his running back, Wilson, and he will be pushed out of bounds by Malik Moore, and his helmet comes off. No, excuse me, that's Delafield whose helmet came off there.
And now your best cover corner, right? 3rd and long, he's got to come out of the game for this place. That just, to me, that's another issue.
How many times does that happen tonight?
Multiple just to him, I believe. So, I mean, and that hurts your team, right? Got to strap your helmets up, guys. I saw it all day yesterday. If you watch any games yesterday, it was happening all over the country. Yeah, I know, it's a little uncomfortable. Tighten the darn thing up.
So Wilson is out. Williams is in at running back on 3rd and 10. Bobbled snap. Tripped up, getting into the backfield. That's Fletcher Jordan again applying the pressure.
Small, but feisty, coaches told us. Fast, smart, athletic. Well, we've seen him the last couple plays. They've let him loose as he gets through there, and he's made a couple TFLs just in this possession.
This is Wilson again. You see them working again on his right calf as he lays on his back on the sideline. Wilson has been the workhorse tonight. As Sean Gibbs in his first game as head coach for Fort Valley State, hanging on to this 14-6 lead. Coach Gibbs has done a great job tonight, I got to say.
He has. He's been waiting for this moment for a long time in his career.
4th and 19. Offense is on the field. Quarterback punt. And a nice job by Durham. Marked out of bounds at the 10-yard line. So Tuskegee will get their first chance on offense here in this 3rd quarter when we come back.
The Boeing Red Tails Classic is brought to you by McDonald's Black and Positively Golden Movement, elevating the next generation of black excellence.
Welcome back to the Boeing Red Tails Classic here in Montgomery, Alabama. John Schriffen alongside my partner, Rini Ngolia. Tuskegee getting their first touch here in this second half. Find themselves down 14-6 against Fort Valley State. Ryan Nettles will hand off to Edwards. Following his blockers, gets a good gain on first down. Williams-Riggins with the stop.
Man, if they can get Edwards going a little better. He didn't have a bad first half, 52 yards rushing in that first half, but get him going a little bit more. I think it'll open up some play action for Ryan Nettles.
So for Dante Edwards, he is their workhorse in the backfield. A gain of 8 on first down, brings up 2nd and 2. Going back to Edwards, fighting for the extra yard, and they're going to get the first down.
Yep, needed to get to the 20, got there. Tyler Moore, number 1, Fort Valley State, sticking his nose in there. The safety just can't make the play. And Edwards is able to get the first down.
What a great atmosphere for college football to kick off the college football season. Fort Valley State, Tuskegee fans both making the trip here to this historic Crampton Bowl. It's been a fantastic weekend celebrating HBCUs and all that they bring to this country. Fake the handoff, Nettles keeps, throws to the outside. Good catch, getting a foot down. That's Corey Petty. Knew exactly where the sideline was, reeled it in.
And we saw Petty in the first half, right? Same situation, couldn't keep the foot in. Great job. Toe tap, left foot down, great concentration. Good throw and an even better catch by Corey Petty.
Amari Hutchinson was the man applying the pressure to Ryan Nettles. Now Hutchinson is in the game because Ethan Manns was ejected for targeting in that first half. This is Nettles, throw across the middle, finds another receiver, completes for a gain of 7.
Just a little sit route there. Do take what the defense gives you, right? McGee just sits down in between the zone. Nettles puts it on him. Nice pickup on first down.
So they're going to call that a gain of 8. 2nd and 2, under 6 minutes to play here in this third quarter. Both offenses we're seeing in the second quarter, they are really taking their time running the clock.
Yeah, a lot more patient for sure out of both units.
Nettles keeps, throws to the outside, complete. Getting upfield quickly and getting the first down. That's Rodriguez McGee again. A new set of downs for Tuskegee. The 53rd season of Monday Night Football kicks off September the 12th. We got Russell Wilson returning to Seattle. He leads the Broncos against the Seahawks. Joe Buck and Troy Aikman make their Monday Night Football debut with Lisa Salters on the field. 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on ABC, ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and ESPN Plus. Also on ESPN2, we got Peyton and Eli. They are back. They have been fun to watch. I can't wait for them all year.
Russell Wilson returning to Seattle with a big fat contract, too, in his pocket. Good for him.
Another quick pass, a little chunk and dunk. That's to the tight end, Trey O'Neal. He's been their utility guy. He is physical, but he also has good hands, so now we see him getting involved in the offense.
And we talked to Trey this week as well, leading up to this game. Good young man, understands the importance of this game, loves the Tuskegee program, and talked to us about how they felt last year after this game, losing 30-0. Said, yeah, we'll try to make it a little different this year, and they already have, playing much, much better than they did last year.
High snap fielded by Nettles. And completes. Or did that hit the ground? No, they're going to say yes. That is a completed catch. They go back to Corey Petty. But we do have a penalty flag in the backfield.
I think we're going to get an illegal chop block. We'll see.
Pushing the foul. Illegal blocking below the waist. Offense, number 3. 15-yard penalty. Remains second down.
So that was Dante Edwards, the running back.
We're going to see on the outside here. So here's the new rule, folks. The cut block looks legal. You can only do this now within the tackle box. So if you're outside of the tackle box, you can no longer cut low. That's what the official deemed, that he was outside the tackle box. It was real close, but he gets called for an illegal chop block, and that's something you're going to see a lot more of, and obviously that is put into the rule books for player safety.
Now the rain continues to fall a little harder here in Montgomery, Alabama. It pushes them back 2nd and 22. Quick pass to the outside, back to Petty. Petty pushed out of bounds by Jalen Brown.
I actually like the patience that this Tuskegee offense is running with right now. I think they're way more productive right now, taking their time, not rushing. Now, of course, the chop block really set them back. So,
with this rain now coming on harder, how does that impact this game?
Yeah, I mean, right now I don't think it's that big of a deal. It's not grass, it's field turf. You know, I think we'll be okay. It doesn't look like to me that either offense is doing anything different than they were when it wasn't raining.
Under 3 minutes to play here in this third quarter. 3rd and 17 for the Golden Tigers. Nettles, empty backfield. He will step up in the pocket, throws downfield, has his receiver. There's a first down. Presence in the pocket by Nettles to find Antonio Meeks. A big 3rd down conversion.
And I love how Nettles just extends the play, right? He gets away, prevents the sack, then keeps his head up, right? Finds his receiver, puts it up, and young Antonio Meeks goes up, high points it, and they get the first down.
Faked out the free safety, Christian Maddox, who stepped up. Now they go to the ground. This is Edwards, tries to bounce. We'll get a tough gain of 4 on first. That's Addian Farmer with the stop.
And McGee's helmet pops off, so he'll get a little break as well as the rain comes down. And
I mean, that just shows you how big this game is, right? Rain is coming down hard. You got to find anything you can to take cover because we're not moving right now.
I got a few umbrellas out, but these fans aren't going anywhere.
First game of the season for both teams. Fort Valley State won last year 30-0. Quick pass to the outside. This is Meeks.
And that's one there where Meeks knows he needs to catch that. And that's a good ball by Ryan Nettles. Lead your receiver when he turns up on that bubble screen, make the catch.
Yeah, going upfield. That's what I'm talking about. You don't need an umbrella. Get the crowd hyped. This is the Boeing Red Tails Classic. We're not going anywhere with the wet stuff coming out.
Paid for a ticket, enjoy it.
It's been a fun weekend. 3rd and 7 now for Tuskegee. Nettles, empty backfield, looking left, overthrows his receiver. Was looking again for Meeks.
And that one just sailed on Ryan Nettles a little bit. Had Meeks on that out cut. That's a ball you just got to get lower. I think he can complete it. And that one just sailed on him a bit. And decision time here for Reginald Ruffin, head coach. And again, 38-yard line. It's kind of that tweener area, right? Do I punt it and just go in the end zone? No, I'm going to stay aggressive. I'm going to go for it.
On 4th down tonight, Tuskegee is 2 for 3. It's 4th and 7. Nettles is pressured, and he's not going anywhere. Tim Alderman with the sack for Fort Valley State.
Man, we called big Tim Alderman's name out a couple times tonight, the defensive end.
And the Wildcats step up on defense with the rain coming down here in Montgomery. 1:32 to play here in this third quarter. Fort Valley State with a 14-6 lead over Tuskegee. Let's see who's bringing the flavor today. Brought to you by McDonald's. And that's what makes this game so special.
A lot of excitement.
We are honoring the Tuskegee Airmen here at this Boeing Red Tails Classic. We are celebrating HBCUs. We got 2 fantastic football teams on the field. 1:32 to play here in this third quarter. 1st and 10 for Fort Valley State. Handoff goes to Wilson. Gets to the outside, and here comes another penalty flag.
It looks like there's going to be another hold. The offensive line. Start them back.
Holding. Offense. Number 70. 10-yard penalty. Still first down.
So for Fort Valley State, that is their 9th penalty of the game for 98 yards. Now, if you look at Tuskegee, they got 9 penalties as well for 100 yards.
Yeah, and they always say, right, the biggest improvement a team makes is from week 1 to week 2. So a lot to clean up when they watch film on this game. But big Jameel Jackson there on the outside. Little hold, but, you know, penalties aside, the offensive line for Fort Valley State has played really well tonight.
So the holding call will back them up 10 yards, 1st and 20 from 35. Tuskegee bringing the blitz, quick pass. That one is gobbled up by Antonio Kennan, the free safety. They found Pimienta, but he did not get much. Tuskegee, they were ready.
Yeah, and we've called Kennan's name out a bunch, and I love the activity he brings from that safety position, especially coming up in run support. So good job by this Tuskegee defense. Remember, last time out, they stopped the offense 3 times because 2 got extended from penalties, and they finally stopped them and got the ball back. So this defense is definitely being more aggressive here in the second half.
So the Wildcats are going the other way. They lost 10 yards on the hold. They lost 1 yard there. It's 2nd and 21.
And this is, you know, something high percentage, right? Just try to get part of it back so you can give yourself a chance at 3rd down.
High snap, handoff is to Wilson. He has been dependable all night. And that is how this 3rd quarter is going to end.
And I like the call there. Again, get some of it back, right? Get it to 3rd and 12. Give yourself a chance on 3rd down when we start the 4th quarter.
So Emmanuel Wilson with a 9-yard carry there. He is up over 150 yards on the game. The rain continues to fall, but it doesn't matter. Let's go to the 4th quarter. Tuskegee and Fort Valley State.
Ever played the college football playoff on ESPN.
You are watching the Blue Machine Marching Band from Fort Valley State University.
Listen, I wish we had a camera in the booth. You got some good moves in here. You could be down there.
I'm rocking with him. We're getting set for the start of the 4th quarter. John Schriffen alongside Rini Ngoli for this Boeing Red Tails Classic. Fort Valley State, there's a keeper by Durham. Another penalty flag comes out, middle of the field.
And last time out defensively, Tuskegee really hurt themselves with penalties, so we'll see what this call is on. It's going to be on, should be on Fort Valley State, it looks like. You'll decline this if you're Tuskegee. And boy, the defense has really stepped up here in the second half.
Holding. Offense. Number 71. That penalty decline. 4th down.
And those holdings, John, they're caused by the aggressiveness of the Tuskegee defense because they're getting after it. They're forcing the offensive line to do a lot grabbing here in the second half.
And you know a guy who has made an impact coming into this game, Devere Hamilton, the Utah transfer, started on the bench, has come into this game and really made an impact.
I think the coaches challenged him. As you said, they started Messiah Wells, a true freshman. I think that kind of woke up Devere Hamilton a little bit, and he's getting after it.
Kick is away. Michael King will let it bounce in front of him. And it will roll inside the 30, down at the 29. Tuskegee getting their 2nd possession of this second half, find themselves down 14-6. No need to hide if you're a Wildcats fan. Fort Valley State with a 14-6 over Tuskegee. You're still looking for our first score here in the second half. Neither offense has been able to get it going here in the second half with Tuskegee. This is just their 2nd possession. Only touched the ball once in that first half. A rush by Dante Edwards as he plunges forward.
Yeah, no explosive plays, right, out of either offense so far through the 3rd quarter. So we'll see if Tuskegee can get one here. And I think that's what both these teams are looking for, that big spark play, get them going. Something big, you know, big 30, 40-yarder. Get some momentum going. Just haven't really had it from Tuskegee tonight thus far.
And both coaches talked to us about being amped up for this game, right? Because it's on national TV, the significance of honoring the Tuskegee Airmen. We saw a lot of explosiveness in that first half, maybe not as much energy so far here in the second half. 2nd and 5 for Tuskegee Golden Tigers. Back to the ground they go. Edwards picks his hole. You know, every time he gets hit first, he picks up another few after that.
So strong. So, you know, Fort Valley State did a nice job setting the edge there. But when you set the edge, you make Dante Edwards square those shoulders up and get north and south, and he is a load. Doesn't quite pick up the first down, but he gets the 3rd and 1. Tough running.
So with Edwards to the bench, 3rd and 1, what do you want to see out of Tuskegee?
You know, I think, again, you've done a nice job with inside zone as well, too, so I wouldn't get too fancy. This is an attitude play here where your offensive line has to be able to get you a yard. Little inside zone read. See what Ryan Nettles decides to do.
JT Elliott is the man in the backfield now. Here comes the blitz. Keeper Nettles trying to avoid the pressure, but he is dropped short of the marker. That was Tyler Moore, the first one in there on the stop.
Yeah, so Nettles pulled it on the zone read, and then you just see the speed of Fort Valley State defensively as they get up there. Tyler Moore, number 1, we've called him out a bunch, left side of the screen. And really, that is what Ryan Nettles saw. He saw one coming in. That's why he pulled it. But, boy, Moore's quick enough to get off that block, and just very good speed defense, team defense out of Fort Valley State. And then Tim Alderman, number 5, again, the defensive end, ultimately makes that play. He's been very active tonight.
So Ryan Duff is on to punt. Tyler Moore is the deep man for Fort Valley State. A good punt. Punt is fielded at the 29. Oh, what a block! Multiple penalty flags coming out. And Moore eventually will get stopped, but that was a vicious hit by Jalen Brown. Whoa!
Well, unfortunately, it's going to be a 15-yard penalty because it's going to be an illegal blindside block. Yeah, I mean, that's a decleater. That is, you know, 10 years ago, you would see that on every highlight film everywhere, but it's a penalty today because it's dangerous. But yeah, that's going to be 15 there. But that was a decleater. My neck hurts just watching that up here from the booth.
I'm thankful everyone got up after that.
And I heard when the referee opened his mic, I heard someone yell targeting. Don't think it was targeting, but clearly an illegal blindside block.
Personal foul, blindside block on the return team. The penalty half the distance to the goal, 1st down.
Check on your teammate.
I have to do this just to kind of see it.
If we lean towards this way, maybe.
Yeah, okay. No way.
Football is better on 40-foot TVs. Just ask football's #1 fan, Travis Kelce.
Dave & Buster's, where winners watch.
When safe drivers save for not answering their phone while driving, they feel like a big deal.
Did you get the ice?
Even if they forgot the ice. Save up to 30% on auto insurance with USAA Safe Pilot. Get a quote today.
Boys, but this season the critters they're fixing.
This is the first Peacock microchip.
I like axolotls. The axolotl courses
Are from everywhere.
I'm talking Pig Latin.
Critter Fixers, new season coming in October on Nat Geo Wild.
Doctors Ferguson and Hodges of Nat Geo's Critter Fixers, Country Vets. Now the doctors, get this, they're alumni of both schools. They went to vet school at Tuskegee and undergrad at Fort Valley State. Now they're here enjoying the game, catch their new season starting in October, and all the past seasons available on Disney+. Now, Rini, I know you're an animal lover.
I love
I'm an
the
animal
vet
lover.
shows.
This is a great show.
They're great. They got to get the vet, their scrubs, where half is Tuskegee and half is Fort Valley State, you know?
Ooh,
I think that would be a good scrub, right? They went to both, so yeah.
Run up the middle. Talk about daylight. Emmanuel Wilson. No one's gonna catch him. 87 yards to the house. Touchdown, Fort Valley State.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say his calf's okay. Got some liquids in him, and earlier I said he was going for 200. I meant 300. 18 carries, 241 yards for that young man, 2 touchdowns, but just inside zone, and you just see the explosiveness, right? When he gets through the line of scrimmage, and one heck of a ball game tonight for that young man.
Rodney Williams on to attempt the extra point. Williams, his kick is up and good. So Fort Valley State with the first score here in the second half. They take a 21-6 lead.
And again, to me, the story of the game obviously has been Emmanuel Wilson, but it's been that offensive line controlling the line of scrimmage. Just take a watch here. Inside zone, great down blocking, and just a great hole. You see 76 Booker, down block. You saw 70 Jameel Jackson. So they were getting a ton of yardage on the left side, right behind Colston, Bell, Boone, the center. That time they down block. He swings it back a little bit to the right side here, and then boom, the Jets go on in just a great stride. I mean, Wilson 6'1", 220. He's not a small back, and shows you that he has speed and he's not going to get caught in the open field. So just a great run by that young man and an excellent job by the offensive line of Fort Valley State.
It's amazing about Emmanuel Wilson. We've seen him on the sideline getting treatment all night long. But here in this fourth quarter, he is getting stronger and quicker. He just literally outran everybody.
That's what you want out of your backs, right? Every good back gets better as the game goes on. They want to carry the ball. The coaches know that. They're in great shape. In a game like this, you can put it away.
Head coach Sean Gibbs, 11:32 away from his first career victory as a head coach, as Williams will boot this one away. A short kick downfield, fielded by the up man at the 15. That's Terry Bryant who will run that back over the 25. Let's take a look at our defensive spotlight presented by Boeing.
Yeah, and it's Fort Valley State. Interception early on by Tyler Moore, who's been all over the place tonight. And they've done a nice job on Dante Edwards, the big back. Jalen Brown comes up, makes the tackle. 5, Tim Alderman, the defensive end. And the nice thing as we look at these highlights is there's Tyler Moore again. We've called out a bunch of different names for Fort Valley State. So you take a look at the numbers. Got a turnover for us, a couple sacks, 6 TFLs, and some good pass breakups as well. We saw the interception, so a very active defense for Denzel Jones, the defensive coordinator for Fort Valley State.
So Tuskegee finds themselves now down 2 scores. Nettles pressured, incomplete over the middle. A big hit applied again by Jalen Brown. They were looking at Montrevel.
And Jalen Brown flies around the football field. Very talented, very athletic, 6'1", 225. He'll get after you.
This Tuskegee offense, we have not seen it look like itself here in the second half. What do they got to do to get going?
And they've been able to move the ball right between the 20s. They just haven't been able to finish drives. We've seen long drives. I just think they're missing that explosive play, right? We just saw a very explosive play out of Fort Valley State. They need some more big plays in the offense.
Pressured again, Nettles dancing, can't escape, and he is dropped. Kentrell Lawson, linebacker, will get the quarterback around the ankles.
And you talk about momentum, right? Football's a game of momentum. As Tim Alderman, the tight end, or defensive end, is down. Hopefully he's okay. And right now, Fort Valley State defensive is just pinning their ears back. They're getting after it. Take a look at the end of that play, and you don't really see what happened to Alderman. You saw him trail on the play.
All right, so an injury timeout for Fort Valley State. We're going to step aside, and we'll be back. 11:04 to play here in this fourth quarter. Welcome back to the fourth quarter here in this Boeing Red Tails Classic. Tuskegee finds himself down 21-6. On offense, they are led up front by Nathan Harrison, the left guard tonight. Nathan Harrison, we got a chance to talk to him earlier this week, and he is from Tuskegee. This means so much to him. He grew up loving this team, wearing the jersey, sneaking into games when he was a kid. He said, I didn't even have a ticket half the time. It didn't even matter. 3rd and 10 for this Tuskegee offense. Rolling out is Nettles. Keeps it himself, and he is eventually pushed out of bounds. And here's the picture of Nathan Harrison We do have a late flag out of bounds. Here's Harrison as a kid wearing that Tuskegee jersey. He said his dad was in the military, so he always grew up with discipline, but also understanding the significance of the Tuskegee Airmen. You know, he said his happy place is? He said when he wants to go by himself and find some peace, he goes to the training ground where the Tuskegee Airmen trained and just goes and sits there by himself.
With the call here.
Personal foul. Late hit out of bounds. Defense, number 1, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
When they had him stopped. We saw this happen to Tuskegee defensively, but to finish up on Nate Harrison, we talked to him Friday. Big smile, loved being on a Zoom. Played at Booker T. Washington, as you said, right from Tuskegee. Just a great, great young man.
Also a young man who understands what it means to get an education and to play football. And he tried to impart that wisdom on the younger guys on this team about the significance of playing in this game tonight.
And you talked about him playing left tackle. That's what he started the game. He's playing right tackle now. He's very versatile.
Jump ball. That is hauled in by Jordan Ogletree. A first down for Tuskegee after the drive is extended off the penalty.
And that's the first time we called Ogletree's name since the touchdown in the first half. But a good ball by Nettles. Big receiver goes up and makes the play.
Going back to the air, slipped out of the hand of Nettles. There's that wet ball for the first time we're seeing the rain have an impact.
You're 100% right. That's the first time tonight. And you notice, like a lot of times when it rains, the quarterback will make sure the center, even really the center and both guards have towels. Wipe your hands before you take the snap. I don't see any towels out there, so that ball gets wet. And, and it's really incumbent upon the center judge that spots the ball. A lot of times they'll have a towel with them too, and they'll give it a little wipe before they set it. But I don't see any towels out there tonight, so you're kind of getting whatever you get. And that time, ball slipped out of Ryan Nettles' hand.
It was Edwards who jumped on top of it. 2nd and 16 now for the Golden Tigers. Empty backfield for Nettles. Steps up, bounces out to the right, directing traffic. Incomplete pass. Tried to squeeze it through a window for Montrevel. Incomplete. How about tomorrow night? The last college football game of Labor Day weekend. Clemson takes on Georgia Tech, 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific. At 7 Eastern with college football, it starts with a countdown. Watch on ESPN and ESPN app. I mean, this is one of the best weekends of the year.
And there's been unbelievable games all week, too. I mean, great finishes, near upsets. I mean, it's everything we thought college football was going to be, and it's only week 1.
From the 39, it's 3rd and 16 for Tuskegee. Nettles has 4 wide. Looking down the middle, has time, and now he's dropped. Tim Alderman with the sack.
And that's a coverage sack there. Excellent coverage in the secondary. Nettles had time initially, and you can only block a Tim Alderman so long. He gets off and makes that sack. Great coverage on the back end. Zone coverage, picking up the crossers. Just really nice. And Tuskegee definitely was going to go for it on 4th down. So that's why, if you're Coach Reginald Ruffin, you would have hoped you could just pick something up there on 3rd down, make it a manageable 4th down here. Because this is 4th and a mile, and you may actually just quick kick it again with Ryan Nettles. We'll see.
For Alderman, that is his 2nd sack of the night for Fort Valley State. 4th and 24. They're going for it. Nettles has time, throwing it. He is decked. Jump ball is intercepted, and there's a late penalty flag as Nettles was just hammered by Jalen Brown. That could potentially be targeted.
And I was watching it. It looked like not late. It looked like a good hit. Now, from the booth, I don't know if he lowered his head and targeted. Now, he likes Jalen Brown to lower that helmet and use the crown. So we'll see when we get a replay. But the hit itself, I didn't think was late. First look from the booth here. Granted, I'm a couple 100 yards away. But he's been close all night tonight with targeting and dipping his helmet. So be interesting to see when we get the replay and see what the call is here.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer. Defense. Number 4. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
So no targeting. Well, let's take a look at it here. And you hear the boos from the fans. So see as he releases the ball. And here he comes. Yeah, To me, I thought that was pretty good. What'd you think, partner? No, give me your opinion. So his head's up. He's been dipping his head all night. Actually, he put his head in his chest, but he saw what he hit. I think, my opinion, it was so violent because he hit so violent that the referee's kind of like, okay, it's a penalty. I thought timing-wise it was okay, but if you're a Tuskegee fan, you're thrilled with that call.
I think that's one of those calls, if they had review, that wouldn't be a penalty.
But you're not reviewing it because he didn't call targeting. That's the thing. It was just called, personal foul, late hit.
Run up the middle. This is Edwards. Dragged down at the 27. There's Jalen Brown. He is just everywhere tonight.
But that's a break Tuskegee needed. They haven't really gotten any breaks tonight. They've had some bad penalties, so they have to finish this drive off with points, though. Hate to be Captain Obvious, but...
For Brown, he now ties the lead in tackles. That's his 7th tackle. Dragged down from behind. That's Grantis Poole.
And this is now where, if you're Tuskegee offensively, you got to up the pace a little bit, right? You got to get a little quicker. Down 15 here. We approach 7 minutes left in this fourth quarter.
Is this 4-down territory?
Yeah, I think it is, for sure. Absolutely.
So 3rd and short. Fort Valley State, they show pressure back off. And you see Ryan Nettles calling out the assignments now at quarterback. Plenty of time on the play clock for 3rd and 1. Nettles fakes the handoff, quick pass to the outside, and that goes nowhere. Dion Andrews just blows that play up.
And just read, recognize, and react. And that's what Dion Andrews does right there. Pre-snap read, see what they got. Okay, I recognize this, now react to it. Great job, young man. Free safety coming up. It's actually a TFL. Exactly what you want to do from the free safety spot on a bubble screen like that to a receiver.
This defensive unit for Fort Valley State, coached by Denzel Jones, is doing a heck of a job tonight. It is now 4th and 3, and as you predicted, Tuskegee, they're going for it. Play clock's down to 3. Nettles looks to the right, almost picked off, broken up on 4th down by Darnell Stevens.
A good break on the ball by Stevens to break it up.
Fort Valley State applying the pressure, 6:02 away from picking up the win. We'll be back. An impressive head coaching debut for Fort Valley State. Sean Gibbs, he has got his team playing well, up 21-6 with 6:02 here in this fourth quarter. John Schriffen alongside Rini Angolia for the 2nd annual Boeing Red Tails Classic here in Montgomery, Alabama. What a game it's been so far. Handoff, look at the patience up the middle. Emmanuel Wilson is in no hurry. He waits for his block, finds his hole. Another good gain on first.
And you're going to get a big dose of him. And in case you don't know, if you're wondering where Sean Gibbs came from, the head coach of Fort Valley State, North Carolina A&T. And what did he coach at North Carolina A&T? The running backs. So, hey, he wants to run the ball. He knows he's got a big gun there in Emmanuel Wilson. He's got a really good offensive line, and he's gonna ride that young man a lot this year. Give him a bunch of carries, and so far, game 1, he has not disappointed.
2nd and 7 as Fort Valley State is going to try to run out this clock here in this fourth quarter. Tuskegee bringing the pressure. Wilson just blows past everybody. Finally tackled past the 45. Vincent Hill on the stop. And we talk about Sean Gibbs, a longtime assistant coach, really had his breakthrough at North Carolina A&T when he was coaching under the legend Rod Broadway. He said he really changed his entire focus. Up until that point, Coach Gibbs said, I just wanted to do my job. I wasn't really thinking about my future, trying to plan things out, but it was Rod Broadway who really told me you have to be strategic about where you want to go in your career. He said after that moment, I really focused and realized I have to position myself, and eventually he's gotten his opportunity tonight thanks to the greats like Rod Broadway.
He's going to be a great coach, is Sean Gibbs, in the SIAC conference. There's no doubt about it.
Handoff this time is Kentrell Williams. And Malik Moore, the middle linebacker, on the stop for Tuskegee. And Wilson again getting worked on.
Looks like they're working on the hand and wrist there, and much rather see that than a lower body, which they worked on earlier. But listen, as a running back, when you carry the ball that many times, the ice bath is your best friend after a game like this. There's no doubt about it. But kudos to this offensive line because they've really played outstanding tonight.
At what point, if you're Tuskegee, do you have to start thinking about using some timeouts?
Now, down 15, we approach 3.5 left.
2nd and 4, back to the ground. This is Williams, and he is tackled right at the marker. This is going to be a close spot.
It's a first down. He got the line to gain. So the problem is, you can have all the timeouts you want. If you can't stop them, they keep getting first downs. This is how you close games out, right? The 4-minute drill. Run the ball, get first downs, and you chew up the clock and get out of here with your first W of the year and first win of your career for Sean Gibbs as a head coach.
Fort Valley State on the ground tonight, averaging almost 10 yards per carry. That is outstanding. Clock now ticks under 3 minutes to play here in this 4th quarter. Handoff is to Williams. And he is stopped for a short game. Our Saturday night football game presented by Capital One has USC taking on Stanford. That's the 100th matchup between the two rivals. It all starts at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific on ABC and the ESPN app. USC out west, they are starting to look like the USC of old.
I think they have a chance to win the Pac-12 this year. Their last year in the Pac-12. How weird does that sound, saying that, huh? Going to the Big Ten with UCLA. UCLA looked good as well. So, some other teams in the Pac-12 kind of came east and didn't work out so well for them.
Play clock winding down. It's at 4. 2nd and 10. Williams hit immediately at the line of scrimmage, maybe a gain of 1. Vincent Hill again on the stop.
And they get him to 3rd down. Coach Ruffin decides not to use any of the timeouts, and under 2 minutes.
See, he's probably thinking about it. They need to stop here first.
Yeah, and it's debatable. Called some earlier, but that's why the head coaches make the big bucks. They make those decisions.
Head coach / athletic director.
That's right.
As well.
That pays himself, right? It's the athletic director.
3rd and 10. Williams, and he will be stopped short at the 41. And it looks like Tuskegee is going to use their first timeout here in the 2nd half. No. Clock continues to run.
Yeah, I guess you got to believe Coach Ruffin's seen what he needs to see. Knows he's going to regroup. Got some things to fix because 4th down here, you'll go for it here if you're Fort Valley State. And obviously you can throw it. You're not worried about the clock because you either get it or you don't. It's going to turn over on downs if you don't get it. So
4th and 7. No timeout from Tuskegee as Fort Valley State continues to let this clock tick off, and a delay of game.
Delay of game. Offense. 30-yard penalty. Remain 4th down.
Well, there's the man of the hour, Emmanuel Wilson. He's been banged up for this 2nd half, but it hasn't slowed him down. 20 rushes, 262 yards, 2 touchdowns. He has been a beast.
And when I asked
the clock was running,
Coach Gibbs,
and under 1 minute, we would subtract 10 seconds from the clock. Game clock operator. Reset the clock to 18 seconds. 18 seconds. Thank you.
And obviously, Tuskegee could waive that 10 seconds, but it looks like they're ready to get out of here and regroup and fix what they need to fix. But talking to Sean Gibbs, when I specifically asked him, how many carries do you want to get Emmanuel Wilson, he told me 20 carries. And got it on the, not only is he going to get his first win, right on the money, what he said he wanted to give the running back the ball.
Now, if he wasn't so banged up, he probably would have got a bunch more.
That's true, but, you know, it's good that you got Kentrell Williams in there that can do some work as well.
And that'll do it. The second annual Boeing Red Tails Classic goes to Fort Valley State. The player of the game, Emmanuel Wilson, over 260 yards rushing, 2 touchdowns. And for head coach Sean Gibbs, he gets his first win as a head coach. Congratulations on win number 1. With the way this Fort Valley State team looks, he's going to get many more than that this year.
No doubt about it. Much different team this year. Both these programs are going in the right direction.
A well-fought game as Fort Valley State gets a 21-6 win over Tuskegee. We will step aside for a quick break and come back here to Montgomery, Alabama to wrap up this Boeing Red Tails Classic.
The Boeing Red Tails Classic is brought to you by Boeing, celebrating the trailblazing spirit of the Tuskegee Airmen and City of Montgomery, capital of dreams.
Congratulations to Fort Valley State, a 21-6 win over Tuskegee to claim this Boeing Red Tails Classic here in Montgomery, Alabama. A dominating performance. Let's take a look at our mayhem moment presented by Allstate.
Yeah, and give kudos to the offensive line. Excellent job all night. Emmanuel Wilson, 87 yards to the house. Was the power back, but here shows you, I got some wheels as well. As he speeds his way to the end zone. This broke the game open. And a great first win to start this season for Fort Valley State and new head coach Sean Gibbs.
You know, Emmanuel Wilson is going to get a lot of the attention after tonight, but that's got to show some love to the defense for Fort Valley State. Every time Tuskegee was looking like they were getting momentum, trying to come back into the game, big number 4, Jalen Brown, was just laying the hits.
And Kelvin Durham, the quarterback, nice job, managed the game, made some plays. This is a team that was picked preseason by the media to finish 5th in the SIAC East. I think they got a little chip on their shoulder. I think they're a better club than that, so it'll be interesting watching them this season.
Sean Gibbs, congratulations on your first win as a head coach at Fort Valley State. What a night, what a weekend here in Montgomery, Alabama. For my partner, Rini Angolia, I'm John Schriffen. So long from the Boeing Red Tails Classic here in Montgomery, Alabama. What a fun night. Celebrating historically black colleges and universities as Fort Valley State comes away with a 21-6 win over.
All right, here we go. Reading the 5 technique closes, hand